something that most likely will not forget, inshallah. So you make the niyyah, that's the pillar, but wajib is to make it in the miqat. There are so many sunan, then extra things that you, when I say sunan, by the way, I'm not saying that you don't do it. No, you do them and they are very recommended. But if you miss any of those things that I'm mentioning, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. So the wajib is only two wajibat, as far as I can remember now, pertaining the ihram, which is the first step. Number one is to make it where? In the miqat or before it. Number two is to put on for men, to put on the ihram and avoid all the mahdurat from that time on. The sunnah that you have to do before ihram is what? Number one, you take a shower, if possible. Take a shower, sunnah. What if I didn't take a shower? Fine, not a problem. Take a shower. Number two, it's recommended in this case to better do it even before leaving home. Remove the hair of the body, armpits, this and that, the pubic hair, so you be clean enough before you go there. Number three is that you apply some perfumes. That's before the ihram. Some people, it's confusing for them. That's before the ihram, because you will get to the state of ihram, a lot of sweating and stuff, and it's anyway the sunnah of the Nabi. Apply some perfumes in your body before you make the ihram. Like you take a shower, remove the hair, or remove the hair before, and then after that you apply the perfumes, and then you put on the ihram for the men. For the men first, ihram is 2 sheets like that, and I will show you in a minute how to, easy way to put them. So only those 2 sheets from now on. For men, they cannot, certain things will not be applicable, will not be allowed for them. Like they cannot cover their hair, for men. For men only. They cannot cover the hair. They cannot cut their nails. That's for men and women. They cannot cut the nails. They cannot cut the hair, men and women also, during ihram. They cannot apply perfume. That's from the time of ihram and on, when they announce the niyyah. They cannot do certain things that we can talk about them also in detail, maybe at the end. So again, we are now at the time, at the station, at the miqat. What is the thing that we are supposed to do and there is no way we have to do it? What is it? The intention. How to prepare for that? There are some sunan. Number one is take shower, remove the hair, apply some perfumes, and then put the ihram on. And then when it's time to say the niyyah, it's better to pray 2 rak'ah sunnah. Again, if possible. Could be in the airplane, might not be, fit for everybody to pray 2 rak'ah, but it's okay. You can pray while sitting down, pray 2 rak'ah, and then after those 2 rak'ah, you announce the niyyah. That's again, all of that should be done before the miqat. So the airplane, the pilot will let you know. Then you announce the niyyah. How to announce the niyyah, what to say. This is one of the places or the ibadat that it's actually recommended or sunnah to say it out loud. What to say? Any form that shows your hajj will work. But you might say, labbaik Allahumma. Before you say labbaik Allahumma labbaik, how to announce the niyyah? Labbaik Allahumma, what is it that we're going to do now? Umrah. You said we're making umrah and then we'll be done, we're making hajj after that. Labbaik Allahumma umrah. Labbaik Allah. If you're making it for yourself, you say labbaik Allahumma umrah. If you're making it for someone else, you say labbaik Allahumma umrah an fulan. On behalf of such and such, and you mention the name. This is the time to do. And it's also good to add something in there, to add one sentence in there. You say, وَإِنْ حَبَسَنِي حَابِسْ فَمَحِلِّي حَيْثُ حَبَسْتَنِي. And if anything happened to me or anything stops me, then I am setting the condition that I will be free in there. So if anything, la qaddar Allah, Allah forbid, if anything happened to the person and they will not be able to continue, then they can take off the ihram and they should be good. This is a condition. Duba'a bint Zubayr, one of the companion women, she asked the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, I'm planning to make ihram, but I don't know, maybe something is going to happen to me. قال حجي واشترطي. You might set this condition. So you say, labbaik Allahumma umrah. If you're making it for someone else, labbaik Allahumma umrah an fulan, on behalf of such and such. You can say that in Arabic or in any language. It's easy to say it in Arabic anyway. From that time and on, you will keep saying talbiyah after that. What is talbiyah? Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. And there are other forms of it, but this is the most common form. You keep saying that. Men would say it out loud. Women will say it in a lower voice, just enough for them to hear themselves and the people around them, but not out loud. And better to say it, sunnah to say it عند رفع والخفض, when you get out of the aeroplane, when you get to the bus, at the changing of situations and stuff, better to say. You keep saying the talbiyah up until you get to make the tawaf, to see the Kaaba and start making the tawaf. All of that time in the aeroplane, coming out of the airplane, in the airport, getting to the bus, out of the bus, all of that time saying the talbiyah. And you stop saying the talbiyah when again? When you see the Kaaba and start the tawaf. Make it to Al-Haram inshaAllah and say start the tawaf, khalas. Stop the talbiyah and get busy with the second thing that you have to do. Clear so far? Now, quickly. I will make a quick revision and then you ask the question. Quick revision for the first of the pillars of Umrah. The first of the pillars of Umrah is what? Al-Ihram, which is niyyah, setting the intention. It's called this niyyah, saying Ihram. Making the Ihram. You make, that's the pillar. Then less important, but it's still very important, is to make it in the miqat, in the place to do that or before it. And to put on the Ihram for men. For women, their Ihram is, they choose white, any color, any cloth is fine, as long as they are, covering. They're not expected to have any showing off and stuff. Obviously, nobody does that. They don't cover the face for women. They don't cover the face even if they have niqab. They take the niqab off during the state of ihram. For men, they put on those two pieces and they are not supposed to cover their head. They are not supposed to cover their face for men. They are not supposed to have any gloves. That's for women too. They are not supposed to have any thing above the ankles. That's for men. Anything above the ankles for men. They might have those flippers or flip-flops, or slippers or something. But anything should be below the ankle, and you should find those easily. Those gator thing or the plastic flippers, anything. Before that, you prepare yourself by taking a shower, by applying some perfume for men also, not for women. Applying some perfume. Women also take a shower. Men and women, they will take a shower. They would remove the hair. They would pray 2 rak'ah. They will announce the niyyah after that, which is labbaik Allahumma umrah. If it's for someone else, labbaik Allahumma umrah an fulan, on behalf of such and such. And from that time on, you say the takbir. Any question? Just as far as what I explained so far? Yes, akhi. And then you.
Praying 2 rak'ah is sunnah or wajib?
Sunnah. Praying 2 rak'ah is sunnah. Yes.
Okay. You were saying that after shower you put perfume and cut hair before?
That's before the ihram.
Is it sunnah?
Sunnah. It's sunnah. I mean, not usually you will not cut this hair. Back then, the Sahaba, they would make the ihram in Dhul Hulayfa, which is in Medina, and then it will take them like more than a week until they make it to Mecca. So they do those things to get ready, so it will not be too hard for them. But usually it's going to be for us, alhamdulillah, few hours. You don't have to do anything with your hair, but I was talking about the body in the most part. Symbolic, you want to do it, fine also, but you don't need to actually. It's mainly as a preparation. Because back then they would be in the state of ihram for like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, until they make it to Mecca. So it would be miserable if the hair is long and this is long. But now we are preparing ourselves and doing those sunan beforehand. Yes, akhi. Usually women, as we know the hadith, they are not supposed to use perfume in the public or wear perfume in the public, as we know the hadith. Yes.
Can we apply perfume to the ihram before we put it on?
That's disagreed on. Can we apply it only on our bodies or in the ihram as well? Disagreed on. Some would say yes, some would say no. I would say avoid it. Just put it in your body. Even if later on it touches the ihram, it's fine. Sayyidah Aisha, she put the perfume for Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. قالت كنا نرى وبيص الطيب في مفرق رسول الله. She put the ihram on his head and on his body عليه الصلاة والسلام. Sahaba said we used to see even it's still bright, like we see the liquid is still there on his forehead. So you put the perfume because the color, the smell will be changing, getting to the airport, this and that. But then after that, even though it's still smelling good, fine, but you cannot put any perfume after that. One of the things that you cannot do from the minute you announce the ihram. Yes, Akhi?
The 2 rak'ah sunnah before making the niyyah.
Yes.
So could it be done when we wear the ihram before starting the niyyah? When we wear the ihram?
When you wear the ihram and pray the 2 rak'ah,
Yeah.
and then right after the 2 rak'ah, you announce the niyyah.
No, because miqat is when you are in the plane, right?
Yes.
So do you need to pray the sunnah before you make the niyyah? Or
The 2 rak'ah, you mean? I said those 2 rak'ah you can do without them. You may not pray them at all. That's what I said. You may not pray if it's not convenient in the airplane. That's something I said. So you may not pray them at all. What you have to do is when it's time to make the niyyah, you should say the niyyah. That's the most important thing. Anything other than this is, as I said, other than this and other than putting on the ihram and everything, is you may not do it if you wish.
so you can do those 2 rak'ah immediately after you put on the ihram.
Not immediately. You may put on the ihram, as we said, from Frankfurt. Ihram is on, everything is on. Then when it is time to make the niyyah, you pray the 2 rak'ah, maybe even while sitting down, if you cannot do anything other than this, and then announce the niyyah. What if I think I even don't have wudu, this and that? Fine, don't pray and just announce the niyyah, and it's okay.
So it's not required to be in wudu for making the niyyah?
No, but it is required to be in wudu if you decide to make the 2 rak'ah, as we know. Please repeat the questions. Oh yeah, mesh, inshallah. I'm sorry, we'll repeat the questions, inshallah. Again, we're still in the very first part of Umrah. We still have so many other parts of Umrah, and Hajj itself is, mashallah, big. So, yes.
It may be controversial. In plane, can we say 2 rak'ah like sitting on?
You may, inshallah.
It is allowed.
You may, if this is the only way to do it. So what can you do? Especially for the sunnah. Sunnah, it's much easier. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to pray even, I'm not sure if you know this hadith or not, but it is hadith, authentic hadith. He used to pray on his camel when the camel is not even going towards Mecca, like not praying towards the Qibla. But this is only in sunnah, in nafl, not in the fard. Fard is different. So like Mecca, Qibla is this way, but the camel is going this way, fine. He would just make the niyyah in the beginning and would do it. So that is for the sunnah, and only while traveling. Yes?
Before we leave the house, we have to pray 2 rakat also.
That's another sunnah, that you pray 2 rak'ah before you leave your city, and when you come back to your city, it's always good to pray 2 rak'ah. Yes. And ask Allah tawfiq in this trip and this and that. Yes? That will be too early. So for the niyyah, it's so easy. All you need to do in the miqat, he's saying, can we do the niyyah before boarding? That's, you're going to be boarding 5.5 hours before the time, the miqat. You may, fine, but from that time that you announce the niyyah, you will be in the state of ihram. So you cannot play with your hair, and you will be just like muhrim. Why would you do that when it's so simple and so easy to just, what I said, what's hard to do in the aeroplane is to put on the sheets. So you might do that before you get to the aeroplane, but you delay announcing the niyyah up until the time to do so.
If I feel like it's totally violent, right? If I feel like make the niyyah for boys, that's totally violent.
That's fine.
That's totally fine.
That's fine. Yes, you can make the niyyah. But if you want to make do the sunnah and the right way, you wait until the miqat and then announce the niyyah in there. But if you announce the niyyah any time before that, you are just in a state of ihram and you cannot do anything. That will add 5.5 hours of a state of ihram. Yes?
When we leave Frankfurt, Frankfurt,
Yes.
then we're going to be in the airplane.
Okay.
The airplane, there's no way of violate any of the ihram rules. Then what's the difference between making the niyyah in Frankfurt versus in the airplane in the miqat?
The difference is that you're trying to do the sunnah as much as possible. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam always did the niyyah, or announced the niyyah at the miqat. Announcing the niyyah at the miqat, it wouldn't make any, in my opinion, there would be no difference at all, no hardship at all for announcing the niyyah. What I said, what could make a difference is putting this on the aeroplane. I understand it might be difficult for somebody to put it in the aeroplane, the lavatory in the airplane is so small, so fine. You can put this beforehand. But that doesn't make you in a state of ihram at all. You're just putting it on in Frankfurt because the bathroom is bigger and stuff for convenience. And then you wait in the airplane, ready and everything, having wudu, or you may have the wudu later, fine, until you get to know that it is time to make the niyyah. When you know it's time to make niyyah, then you make the niyyah, you pray the 2 rak'ah and you make the niyyah. Or even skip the 2 rak'ah and announce the niyyah. Okay, let me show you quickly. MashaAllah, those are 2 ihrams, I guess. One suggested way to make the ihram, many people get confused when it comes to putting on the ihram, or they really like stuck in there. So it will be 2 sheets, one sheet for the lower body and another sheet for the upper body, al-izar wal-rida, as they are called. So one way to do that will be like this. You take it and bend it like that, and then you put it up here. Obviously the navel for the men should be covered. Many people, they do it just, right here. But this portion of the body, navel and down, is from the aura for the men. So the reason why I'm bending this, you will know later that it will give you some kind of freedom to move. Bismillah. So you will be holding this in here. Obviously you will take off all the clothes. You'll take off everything, not even underwear. Many people, they don't know that, or some people at least. So you put it this way in here. One other strategy in this time is to kind of, how do you say it? Kind of take your belly in. Okay, so you make it tighter. You don't have to make it like really very, very tight. And then you take it another way in here. And what you do is just, that's what I'm saying. That's the first part of it. The first part of it is like that. You might have a seat belt, the belt, the belt around the waist belt. It's kind of a belt that you can put on all your stuff, the valuables, pocket or the phone or something. You can put it around it in here, and that's also fine. Many people don't feel secure without putting this belt, so it's also fine. If you put it around it this way, khalas, that's fine. You may also, that's what I usually do. My stuff is actually in there. You get them. You can put them, you don't need, in my opinion, usually I don't need the belt or stuff. So if those are my stuff, that's the phone, for example. No, that's not the phone. Can somebody give me a couple of items? Okay. So usually you will have, I think I turned off. Let me do it again. Bismillah. That's mute. Okay. So usually you have a couple of items. Don't take all of these, passport is not going to be with you anyway. Papers is not going to be with you. So all you have is this cell phone and the pocket or something. That's what you have. So here you do it again, like that. Go around your waist. And then you can put this phone up here, usually. Take it higher, a little bit higher. And you can put it here. Obviously, you'll not have all of these wires and stuff. And you take it one time, like that. And you may take it for the second time. If you go like this, I guarantee you can run the marathon if you want, and you'll be fine. You don't need a belt or anything. So, look at this. When I'm moving or opening my legs, still fine. If you do it the right way without having this thing up here, without bending it one time, it's not going to give you this kind of freedom. Okay? So now it's, giving me freedom when I sit down, and I ask the brothers to pay attention. When they sit down, you don't have anything underwear. So many people, you will not have chairs. You might sit on the floor or something. So please do not raise your legs or anything, because the aura will be uncovered. So just pay attention to that. But as far as security, it's there. And I will move with my stuff in here. Believe me, they're not going to go nowhere. You're not going to go nowhere. So it's so easy. And if you can watch this video again, so easy. And then the other part will be just on the top, like this. I put this in the airplane, and it's going to go like this. Many people, put the pens, safety pens and stuff. Well, that's how I go. pins and stuff, they might even hurt you with movements and stuff. That's all you need, believe me. So that's all you need. Until you go, now we finish the ihram, we put this on at the miqat, before the miqat, and then at the miqat we announce the niyyah. We come to Jeddah, we finish the procedure and stuff, we make it to Mecca. Be patient. It might take in the airport, Matar al-Malik Abdulaziz in Jeddah, it might usually, you know, to get out of an airplane or something, half an hour or something, maybe an hour, but it might take up to 5-7 hours or more. So be patient, because a part of it is understood. All flights coming from all directions of the world to the same place. So you might be sitting and it's really humid, so humid in Jeddah, and you'll be finishing the procedures of the aeroplane and stuff, and then going to Tafweej, regrouping them, and then going to which bus. Each of those stages you might be easily waiting for 2 or 3 hours. So until you get to the bus, and then when you get to the bus, you will, it's usually 1 hour trip from Jeddah to Mecca. It might take up to like 3 hours or something. A lot of checkpoints, and they check the passports and papers. When you get to Mecca, you make it to Mecca, another hour maybe or 2 to get to the Mutawif, the office of the Mutawif. He checks everything, and then he send you to the place where you, the hotel and stuff. When you make it to the hotel, inshallah, all of that time you are saying what? Talbiya labbaik Allahumma labbaik, being, you know, when we say it now, it's kind of easy, and we have the shawq, the longing to Mecca, but it's going to be after a long trip. It's going to be a few hours going to Frankfurt, and then a few hours in Frankfurt, and then another few hours in the airplane, and then another several hours, and you'll be so much tired. So try to think positively. I'm now going to the house of Allah Azza wa Jalla. I made it all the way. Think of that. Think of that, oh, subhanAllah, I left my kids and I left my job and everything, and I'm coming to Allah. Think, you know, of those things. Make adhkar, and always purify your intention. Oh Allah, I'm taking all this pain for your sake. Oh Allah, accept from me. This is what makes all the difference between a Hajj and somebody who is going for, you know, I like it when I read it in the paper today. Somebody was holding a camera and, oh yeah, take a photo. Fine, you can take photos. I'm not saying, but you know, I need you to be in the state, the mindset of Hajj, really Hajj. Take photos and everything, fine, but more importantly is what's in your heart. You come to Mecca after passing all of these procedures, and please, please be patient. Be patient. Your patience is going to be put into test. Fine, you make it to the hotel and everything, get your room. Sometimes even it takes long time until we get our room. So we might go to make Umrah first before we take the room, but usually I don't do that. We take the room, and then we can even get rest if we get too late and we are too tired. We have sisters and everybody is tired by default. You might even sleep until the next day, fine. We decide about this when we get there. I usually, alhamdulillah, we usually do it when we go there. But it's fine, sometimes it's really taken longer than usual. And Haram is crowded. We wait until the next day, or if we come late or something, we can take some rest. We will let you know inshallah about that. We go as a group, and the hotel is in front of the Haram, alhamdulillah. So the time we decide, we come to make the Umrah. We will meet, but again, all of the things that we do in groups do not only depend on the group. Do not depend, oh yeah, I'll be with the Sheikh and fine. No, please. You have to know what we are doing, because it's 100%. Usually I go with the entire group, 40 people, or the entire bus, 45 people. When we finish the tawaf and sa'i and everything, I have only maybe half of that, or much less than that. It's not like we are here in our masjid, let's go to the other room. No, it's gonna be, you're gonna be moving with other millions of people, so it's difficult. Usually you will get lost, fine. Not get lost, you will, you know, separate from the group. So you have to know what we are doing. Simply it's going to the Kaaba. When you make it to the house of Allah, like you do it with, you know, we enter any house, you enter with the right foot, and you will say the adhkar, Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulullah, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, Allahumma aftah li abwaba rahmatik, as you do with any masjid. You make it to the masjid, and again, the preparation before Hajj, you have to probably review all of these ad'iyah, what to say when you enter the masjid. There is a dua also when you see the Kaaba, Allahumma zid hadha al-bayta tashrifan wa ta'ziman wa mahabatan wa birran. You might also memorize this dua, or in any of the dua, it's always better to say the sunnah dua. But if you cannot remember it or anything, please do not take any booklet with you. I don't like this. booklet and somebody is just getting into the masjid, yeah, let me read. Reading is not like saying it from the heart. For me, it's better that you don't know it, fine, but just say what comes to your mind, what comes to your heart, and you'll be much better than just reading from a book or something. Don't read from a book. Now is the time to read and learn and memorize as much as you can, and don't worry about that. It's not, you know, rocket science or anything. You come to the house, you get to the house of Allah, try to make it from Darus Salam. Go with the group anyway, from Babus Salam. Then you see the Kaaba, you say the dua, you start the tawaf. That's what we are going to do right now. Can somebody get this Kaaba, this thing in here? اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. So, did you make a door or something? Where is the door? عندك؟ مفيش عندك مصلية؟
We can open this side.
Yeah, if you have مصلية ولا حاجة. هات السجادة دي.
Papers.
Okay. مفيش واحدة صغيرة شوية؟ طيب. يا شيخ. ماشي يا شيخ، هذه جميلة دي. شكل الباب. Okay, this is, you know, something, it looks like the Kaaba, inshallah. Just to be. So, what is this? Why I'm putting this? What is this? This is the door of Al-Kaaba, to know the dimensions and to be aware. Door is not going to be in the middle. It's going to be in one side, and it's going to be closer to one of the sides of Al-Kaaba. This side that's closer to the door of Al-Kaaba has what in here? No. Al-Hajar al-Aswad, the black stone. So the black stone is going to be closer to the door of Al-Kaaba. The door is not in the middle. It's closer to one of the sides. So it's closer to the side where the black stone is in here. Okay? Hijr Ismail or Al-Hatim is on the other side, is here, in here, which is like an arch. It's going to be like this chair in here. So this is Hijr Ismail, where you can get through actually. There is an opening and you can walk from here. Usually it's closed, but sometimes it's open. You can walk through here, you can get in here and pray even. Everybody can see, sisters can see? You can get into here and pray sometimes. It's like an arch that's high, almost this height. Okay? And it's around the Kaaba. It's part of the Kaaba. When we make the tawaf, you cannot get through that. You have to go around it. You have to go around it. We come to the Kaaba right now. We said the intention, right? And we come. Said all the du'as and everything. There used to be a line on the floor. I'm not sure if it's there. But anyway, the beginning of the tawaf is going to be from that corner. If there is a line in here, you have to be behind this line. You cannot start the tawaf from here. There is a green light also, yes. If you look at your right, if you are here and you look at your right, but usually it's kind of weird, but it is there. If you look at all the way far in your right, you should see a green light. So be behind this green light. So by the Kaaba, it's in this corner, be behind it. Start. And you will start your tawaf. What is this tawaf called? Tawaf al-Qudum. Ahsan, Tawaf al-Qudum. And it's one of the pillars of Al-Umrah. One of the pillars of Al-Umrah. So this is the second pillars of Umrah. Second pillar of Umrah. What was the first pillar again? Niyyah. We said the Niyyah. Now I'm getting to the second one, which is Tawaf for 7 times. How to do the Tawaf? Doing the Tawaf like this, starting before this line. There are some sunan to do in here. Only in this Tawaf. Only in this Tawaf. All the time I have been like that with the Ihram. Just like this for men. Women, it's not going to make a difference for them. At this time, I will uncover the right shoulder by taking the right hand out. This side is up here. And then you take this. So the right shoulder, obviously you'll not have any clothes. The right shoulder will be uncovered. What is this called? Ittiba'. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did it with the Sahaba when they were coming from Medina after years and years being away from Mecca. And Mecca at this time used to be non-Muslims were living there, so they started spreading some rumors. Oh, Muslims become weak and they cannot, let's see them. And then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam ordered them to show them the right arm, like strong, and they will do something else, which is ramal, for the first 3 rounds only. The first 3 rounds only, they will go jogging. We will start the tawaf right now. What should we do? You will face the black stone. You will face. The sunnah, and you read it in the books, the best thing is to do what? Go to it and touch it and make sujood on it. Make sujood, forehead on it, and kiss it. That's the sunnah, right? But please, 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 don't try to do that. Don't try to do it unless you need to fight. Everybody is trying to do the same thing and everybody is here. You can't normally unless you really need to fight. So that's what, again, it's one of the pillars of Hajj to touch it, the stone and kiss it, right? Is it? It's not. So why I see people fighting? I see somebody taking his wife, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, and getting into a crushing, yani, getting here and there. Haram, wallahi, that's haram. That's less of fiqh. Don't get there. If you can get over there, inshallah, I can tell the youth how to, one strategy, simple strategy, which is so easy for me, but it will need some kind of power. If you need to get to Al-Hajar Al-Aswad, this is what you have to do. Come all the way from this side and stick to the Kaaba. Obviously, it's very less crowded in here. And you will go inch by inch. Stick to the wall, inch by inch, inch by inch. Everybody is fighting around here, but you are sticking to, at the end, in no more than 20 minutes or something, 15, 20 minutes, you find yourself in here. But you have to be strong because everybody will be, you know, you might get easily crushed into the Hajar. So if you have to do it, but you don't really need to do that. What you say is you face it. You face Al-Hajar quickly, don't stay, don't stop in there for a long time because many people, tawaf is going. So if everybody is standing in there and trying to raise hand and recite the entire thing, it's gonna block everybody. So you just face it, Bismillah Allahu Akbar. And you point to it with your right hand and that's it. You start the tawaf. You will be going the tawaf. Where is Maqam Ibrahim, by the way, the station of Ibrahim? It will be right here on this side in front of the Kaaba. Well, let's say this is Maqam Ibrahim in here. Let's assume this is in here, the station of Ibrahim, where, you know, people, it's in the mataf. So this is going to be the first tawaf, and I'm going. There's nothing special to say. We can say dua. Remember all the du'as, all the things that people ask you to say. Remember your family. Say dua. You can recite Quran, but there is nothing. Some booklets mention, oh, this is the dua to say in the first round, the dua of the second. That's not right. There is nothing like this. So tawaf is one of the important ibadat. You need to be in wudu for that. I forgot to mention. Tawaf is like salah. You have to have wudu to make the tawaf. Anytime you lose your wudu during the tawaf, you stop, go make wudu, and come back and continue from where you stop. You just cancel the last round. So if I lose wudu in my fourth round, for example, in the middle of the fourth round, then I lost my wudu. I go, renew the wudu, and come back and start from where? From the beginning of the fourth one. And that's going to be the beginning of the fourth one. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. And do the rest of them. So 7 times. You cannot go through here. Take a shortcut. You cannot. It has to be around Al-Hatim. Here I'm going and everything around the Kaaba. The last wall of the Kaaba, or between this and that, is called Al-Ruknan Al-Yamaniyan because they are facing Yemen. The two corners, the two Yemeni corners. Those are called Al-Ruknan Al-Shamiyan because they are facing the north, or Sham, or Syria. So this is Al-Rukn Al-Yamani. Al-Rukn Al-Yamani. Between this side, in the last, you know, when you are facing the fourth wall of Al-Kaaba, the last portion of the round, here it's sunnah to say what? رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. During that time. Here, when you face Al-Rukn Al-Yamani, it's also sunnah an yastalimahu. You might point to it, but you don't kiss, or you might also kiss it according to some scholars. You might, but don't stop in there. Some people, you know, keep rubbing the Kaaba, and no, just you might touch it and keep going. You say here, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. This was the first round, and for men we said the first 3 rounds you go like jogging. This one, and then the second, and then the third, you'll be having a tiba', all the 7 of them. But ramal, which is jogging, the first 3 of them. The jogging is only for men. So women, they don't do that. If you have your wife with you or your sister, khalas, don't do it. Just Accompany your wife or sister and you should be fine. Try not to hurt anybody. If you are strong enough, many people decide like to go with their arms and I have to take all the space. No, just go. Do not go against the flow in any way. So don't go against the flow. Some people, when they finish, we go 1, 2. Before I say that, make sure the seventh time, I made the 7th time, I go around and I come up to here. Many people, khalas, alhamdulillah, I'm done, they leave from this door. No, you're not done yet. You have to complete the circle all the way until you pass the line. The green light is in there, or the side, the corner of the Kaaba, you have to pass it. So you finish the 7th line. Many people at this point, khalas, I finish, they go right. I go this way. But many people are coming, still coming this way. No, keep going. Just a bigger circle. Take a bigger circle until you get out of the mataf. Don't block it. Don't make it hard for anybody. After you finish again, what should we do? 2 rak'ah behind Maqam Ibrahim. Many people insist to make it right here when Maqam Ibrahim is right in the mataf. That's going to block the tawaf. It's not possible. It's not going to be possible during Hajj, I'm telling you. So it's anywhere from here and up. You can go far back there. You can do it between the Kaaba and Maqam Ibrahim. Obviously, it's not possible either. But any way, any place far or beyond that is fine. So you go back behind Maqam Ibrahim and you make the intention to do the 2 rak'ah sunnah. You might skip them if you have to, but actually there is nothing to hard that will make it hard on you to make it. So you make the 2 rak'ah sunnah. In the first rak'ah you recite قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. In the second rak'ah you recite قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Done with that, you are done with the second pillar of al-umrah. You don't have to make it tiba' anymore. Khalas, it-tiba', cover your shoulder, fine. Even before the salah, because we know in the salah the shoulders is recommended to be covered. So you get back to the regular state. You don't have to have a tiba' anymore. After the 2 rak'ah, you drink from Zamzam. You drink from Zamzam. Sunnah is to drink as much as you can. And make the dua. And set any, make a wish if you want. Or make a special dua to Allah, because Zamzam lima shuriba lahu. When you drink Zamzam, inshallah, it's for whatever intention that you set in there. Allah will make it happen for you, inshallah. After you finish Zamzam, you go to the sa'i. Usually, as-safa will be, if you look, this is side of the Kaaba, door is here, we start tawaf from here. Just draw a line, a virtual line. As-safa will be right there, where you begin the sa'i. Just walk in there, and you should see as-safa, which used to be a mountain. There's just a symbolic big rock in there, and it's kind of a marble thing is going up a little bit. So you go all the way to as-safa. When you are rising on it, it's marble, it's not like a mountain. You say, Abda'u bima bada Allahu bihi. I start with what Allah started with. Inna as-safa wal marwata min sha'airillah. Allah said, indeed, as-safa, the mountain of as-safa and al-marwa, are both from the symbols of Allah. And you go, Allah started with as-safa, you start with as-safa. You rise on it, and then you face al-Kaaba. Obviously, with the construction and stuff, you might not be able to see the Kaaba from there, but face Kaaba on as-safa. Now you are on the mount or the hill of as-safa facing the Kaaba. You might take a rest then. After 7 times of tawaf, you might really need a rest. Fine, it's okay. Take rest. For the sa'i, you don't have to have wudu. So if you lose your wudu for sa'i, after that, you don't have to have wudu. It's okay. Fine? So, but for tawaf, you have to have wudu all the time. So, if any salah comes during, let me talk about tawaf before we go from here. Time of salah comes, for example, you can stop the sa'i, fine. The tawaf, and pray, and then after the prayer, everybody stops anyway. Tawaf stops for the Salatul Asr, for example, any salah. You pray with them. After you finish, you continue. You continue. You build on where you stop. That's fine. Any question as far as the tawaf or anything before that? Before we get to the sa'i, yes.
Is it allowed, but do we say at the first time or every time?
Every time. That's a good question. Yeah. The Hajj and Umrah is full of a lot of details, so please make sure you ask questions. You say it in the first time, and every time you come to it, Bismillah Allahu Akbar. You face it, and you say, as you're walking, like you're walking, and just Bismillah Allahu Akbar, and then you continue. Yes?
If you are going with your wife, and then you have to go to Zamzam, I know that Zamzam you have to go downstairs.
No.
There or just at
It's not there anymore. I was there in 2000, 2001. I think 1 or 2 years after that, they took it off. It's now Zamzam. You see faucets all around. Just go to any of the corners and you should see faucets, and they will tell you that this is Zamzam water. So you go to any of those sides and drink some Zamzam from there.
Istilam means touch, right? So
Yes.
Rukn al-Yamani, you touch it.
You touch it too. So you can touch Rukn al-Yamani, and usually it's easy because not many people in the Rukn al-Yamani. Anybody can tell me where is a Rukn al-Yamani or the Yamani corner? This? This? Yes, it's this one. So this one is sunnah to touch it too. Can يستلم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. But not kissing it. It's not in the hadith that he kissed it. The one you kiss is this, touch it and kiss it, and also make sujood on it. But again, I'm saying it's not going to be, it's really going to be hard to do that.
You are confused about how many rounds that you did.
A good question. You build, يبني على الأقل. You go by the minimum. So I'm confused. 4 or 5? How much should I make? 4. Oh, 5 or 6? No, 5. And there is nice sibha كده, some counter or meter that you count. And you really get confused because you're really tired and they all look the same. I guarantee you get confused if you don't really have a meter or something. So you better have this, any kind of way to remind you.
One more thing, a question.
He said, what if I'm confused, 4 or 5, 3 or 4? I got confused in counting the number. So I said, when you get confused, go by the minimum. By the minimum. Confused, 2 or 3, make them 2. 5 or 6, make them 5. Yes?
The other one is, if you have a break, you want to do less than 4, and then you can start from first.
If you have to stop during any of the ashwat, any of the rounds, خلاص, this broken part of the round does not count. You start from the beginning of that. Huh? Except for salah. Yeah, if you lose your wudu or something. But in salah, خلاص, usually when there's the iqamah, they make iqamah to salah, you cannot go nowhere. You have to pray where you are. Finish the prayer, continue from where you are. That's fine.
But the best time to do what the best time of the day or the night do you prefer?
Again, that's, it really depends, but when we get there, we decide about this, inshallah. But usually late in the night, like after midnight or something, especially after 2 a.m., it's a good time. Way before Fajr, any time from it really depends. And always haram is there, and you have TV on each room, on the hotels. You can tell, you can see people. So when you see it less, a number of people, you can always get there. Yes?
Before Salat and Tahajjud, you can make it at that time.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like 1, 2, 3 a.m. But not right before Fajr. Before Fajr, a lot of people are coming. After Fajr, a lot of people are there. And the best times is actually when it's really hot in the midday, because not many people go. But if you can take it, for youth people, like right after Dhuhr or something. Not after prayers. Usually after prayers it's going to be, but between Dhuhr and Asr, it's so hot. Not that many people are there. But it's going to be faster, but if you can take it. Yes?
Tawaf, it's like salah.
Exactly.
Can you drink while you're making tawaf?
Yes, you can drink and everything, not a problem. It's like salah in terms of you have to have wudu for it. You have to have that. But drinking water, yes, you actually need to drink a lot of water. You'll be losing a lot of water.
Can you talk?
Naam? You can talk, but again, not the kind of talk I saw many people. It's funny. The phone rings, and yes, he's talking to his wife. And you hear all kind of funny things. Yeah, how's the stuff? Yeah, please take this from the living room and put it. Yeah, you're in tawaf. So, I'm not saying this is haram. Not saying it's haram. No, it's not haram. You can't. It doesn't break the tawaf or anything. But, and I made one time Umrah when we were in the youth in the college, and our friends, mashallah, they were making jokes and everything. So, no, that's time of ibadah. It's like salah, focus, make dua. This is the best ibadah ever that you can make in Mecca, believe it or not, is tawaf. Tawaf bil bayt. The best ibadah to make to Allah while being in Mecca is to make tawaf.
When you say it's ibadah festival, out of Umrah, can we do tawaf?
Yes, you can. Out of Umrah, you can also make tawaf. For those who can make it, as long as you are in Mecca, make as much tawaf, like every time you come to the haram, if you can afford it. After that, you finish the umrah and everything, and instead of praying 2 rak'ah, you can.
Does it have to be 7 or any number of tawaf?
You can actually do any number of tawaf. Any tawaf hawr al-Kaaba, which is the extra one, is fine. You can make as many as you want, inshallah.
You're not wearing socks or anything at that time. There is
Yes, at this time you will not be wearing socks or anything.
Can you repeat the question so that it gets recorded?
Yeah, so inshallah. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, if you mention that whenever you are in the Haram Sharif or inside the Makkah, drink as much as Zamzam, it is a blessing, big blessing.
Right, it's a blessing.
All the time you have to drink Zamzam.
And also you need water, actually. You need a lot of water because you lose water while not knowing. We finished the tawaf, khalas, alhamdulillah. Now we go to last question. Yes, akhi.
I couldn't understand exactly when we put this ihram, we have to use underwear or no?
No underwear. No underwear.
It's for everybody?
That's for men, for all men. Yes. The question is, do we have underwear? Do we put underwear when we have the ihram? And the answer is no. No, and that's the only 2 pieces that you have to have. Let's finish the umrah and we take a break, inshallah. We finish the umrah and we take a break, and then we can come back for Hajj, inshallah. So, yes, akhi.
In Tawaf, which one is better to recite the Quran or make dua?
Which one?
It's better to either recite Quran or just make dua. Which one?
You can make, it's going to take a long time. That's number 1 thing. So you can divide your time. Maybe sometime you recite some Quran, sometime you make dua, sometime you make dhikrullah azza jalla in general. That's what you need to do.
Isn't making dua better?
No, there is nothing that's better than the other. Qira'at al-Quran is always good too. Making dua is good too. So don't deprive yourself of anything. Make maybe for 1 or 2 rounds you make special dua that you need to make. If you run out of dua, then you read Quran, make any dhikr, inshallah.
dua can be in your own language or it has to be.
It can be in your own language. Doesn't have to be in Arabic.
Usually it's very crowded, and especially when you are with your wife or home or something. How would you do Ramal? What's the best way to Ramal when there is no space for you to jog in there?
Don't make Ramal if you have your wife with you. That's what I said. If you have a wife or sister, how come you be jog? Obviously, you will not have even the space to do it. But what you try to do, if you cannot, ما لا يدرك كله لا يترك جله. If you cannot get it completely, at least don't miss it completely. So your wife is with you, you just do it like, it looks like you're running, but you're not actually, you're just walking. Yeah, pretend you are doing it. That's what you can do, trying to do the sunnah. But I saw also some people, his wife is with him, he's trying to run, and take it with him. Yeah, take it easy. You don't have to do that when your wife is with you, because this is not for her to do that. Yes.
During the time of the tawaf, we need to take our right shoulder out and put the ihram in the middle of it. So during the time of the prayer, can we offer the prayer the same way, or we need to reverse?
You cover your shoulder. During the prayer, you cover your shoulder. Yes.
Then, once we resume our tawaf, we need to...
You can do it again. You can uncover it again. Uncovering is only during the tawaf itself.
I couldn't catch up on you, sorry. You said that we open the shoulder, exposing the shoulder.
The right shoulder.
The right shoulder, I'm sorry. This one for showing the Muslim Ummah like weak or Prophet said, this one they can
stronger. Show that we are stronger.
So what was the reason that one?
The reason behind this is that when they were back then, Mecca was under the non-Muslims, and Muslims were in Medina, and they agreed somehow that the Muslim will come and make Umrah and then go back. So non-Muslims, the residents of Mecca, they were spreading a lot of rumors that Muslims, when they make hijrah from Mecca to Medina, they got sick, they got a lot of diseases, and they are weak, and trying to spread these rumors because they were the enemies. This is a psychological war. So when the Nabi ﷺ came to know about that, he said, let's show them that no, we are stronger. So he showed them that they can run and they are strong. Then seeing that, they were all in the mountains looking at them. They said, no, they are not as we used to think or people tell us. That was the reason for that. Well, yeah, we need to go to Sa'id. Yes.
So during the tawaf, can women wear the socks?
Women wear the socks all the time. Yeah, they wear, if they have, covering, it's part of the things to be covered anyway, but it's when I said that ankle thing and slippers and stuff, that's for men only, not for women. Then, okay, I will talk about things about to do in ihram, and I always keep forgetting. During the ihram, let me say them. During the ihram, there are some things that you can do, some things you might not do, or you don't have to do. Covering the hair for men, you don't cover your hair. But you can always choose the umbrellas. You can use umbrellas. That's not covering the hair. That's umbrellas. You can, we know that we cannot have anything around our bodies, makhit or muhit. Something that has stitches, not any stitches, stitches in such a way that make it around any of the limbs of the body. Because this has stitches also. Anything. Belt has stitches, but it's not made to be around one of the organs of the body somehow or so. Glasses are fine. Rings are fine. The watch are fine. The belt is also fine. Even the pins, the pen, the safety pin, all of that is fine. Okay, let me make to the sa'i, and then inshallah if you have any other questions, we can delay them to the end. Sa'i is easy. You're gonna have to do it 7 times, starting with as-Safa. Get to as-Safa, the mountain of as-Safa, which I said. To know it, once you finish the tawaf, make sure you pass the line, and then you look at your right. Go straight to your right, but don't go like straight. Try to continue the circle, and then you can always come back to as-Safa. Get to as-Safa, you will face the Kaaba, and you raise your hand like you make dua, and you say the dua. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده أنجز وعده ونصر عبده وهزم الأحزاب وحده. And then you say dua, any dua that you want. And then you repeat the same thing that I said right now, لا إله إلا الله وحده. And then say another dua. And then repeat this thing, لا إله إلا الله, for the 3rd time. And then after you finish it, you start. What if it's too much for me? Here I'm recommending you, you can probably, this is the time too, we still have like a few weeks before we go to Hajj, go and do your homework. What if you do your homework, but now it's too much stuff and I can't forget it? Fine. You can at least remember La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, and make dua for yourself and repeat it 3 times. It's okay. And then you start the sa'i. From as-Safa, this is as-Safa. Where is al-Marwa gonna be? It's gonna be in the other direction in there. You're starting from as-Safa and you'll be coming down in the mas'a. Always go, the higher the better. There are like 4 or 5th floors, I guess. 5 floors. Go to the the highest one. The higher the better. The less people. The first story, the basement, will be always crowded. So extremely crowded, especially during Hajj. Go to the 3rd or 4th. If it's not daytime, if it's daytime, sun is going to be, so go to the 3rd. And it's going to be much lighter. And on as-Safa, if you are tired by then and stuff, or elder, or somebody, pregnant woman or something, you should find some volunteers if you need to. Not many people know that. There are some volunteers in there, some people who you pay them money, a lot of money. They will ask you for like 500 riyals or 300 or something to take you on a wheelchair and make the sa'i for you. And there are also some volunteers in there, like some societies, or I think Boy Scouts of Mecca or something. They do it for free. Try to find them if you need to, and usually they have some special clothes and they have something written in there, and they have badge or something. They can take you for free on this wheelchair if you need, and they will finish the sa'i for you. They can actually get them from the beginning. They can make the tawaf and then make the sa'i for you for free. And there is also other people that you can pay them money if you need to.
Rent a wheelchair and do it like yourself or an elderly?
If you need a wheelchair, it's going to be a longer process, because you have to go outside the haram, and there is an office there where you have to go in a really long line. But I did it before. And you leave your ID, they give you a wheelchair, you can use it and then bring it back to them. But there is also some other people you need to check around as-Safa. Many people, they buy wheelchair, they finish the tawaf and sa'i, and they leave it there. They don't need it, khalas, for anybody. So you might find somebody who is done or almost done with the wheelchair, and you can, it happened with me one time, but you might not find that option. If not, you can go and get the wheelchair yourself. If not this or that, you can ask somebody to help you from those volunteers, or even those who are paid. Start the sa'i, going into a sa'i. When you go like 1/3 of the distance, you see 2 green signs. Usually they go in the wall and then in the ceiling. You see them. السنة أن يركض فيهما الإنسان ركضا شديدا. What is it that we are doing when we make sa'i? What is it that we're trying to remember? Why is it done at all? Hajar alayhi salam was doing that, searching for water, going between the 2 mountains. When she came to this area where the green sign is, she was almost running. A lot of sisters said, well, if we do that because the woman, she was a woman, Hajar, and she was running, why can't we run? Yeah, she was running because she was by herself back then, and she has to find water and stuff. But now, men and women, it would not be fit for women to run. Here, between these 2 green signs, men may, if they are by themselves, and it's fine, I mean, they don't hurt anybody, they can run in this area. And it's not big, it's like, I think like the area of this masjid or something, from here to here. And then they continue as usual. Going from As-Safa to Al-Marwa, when you get to Al-Marwa, you will look into the Kaaba again, up, go all the way up. And then you make the same thing. You say the same dua, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, and then make dua, La ilaha illallah wahdahu for the 2nd time to the end. Another dua, and then for the 3rd time, La ilaha illallah wahdahu to the end of the dua, and don't make dua after that. And you would be done with the 1st round. That's the 1st round. Then you go back to As-Safa, that's the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. The 7th you will finish at Al-Marwa. And by then you finish the 3rd of the pillars of Al-Umrah. We're still making Umrah. What was the first one of Al-Umrah again? First pillar? Niyyah, from the miqat, in the station. We did it in the aeroplane. The 2nd one? Tawaf, 7 times around Kaaba. We just did it. 3rd one? Sa'i between Safa and Marwa. We did it right now. 7 times. Every time you get between these 2 green signs, men running a little bit. For sa'i, you don't have to make, as we said, al-tiba'. That was only in the tawaf. I mean, you see many people still, maybe they forgot or something, but they are still, no, you cover. Make the sa'i 7 times. Done, you be done at Al-Marwa. Sisters, you might have some scissors with you. Little scissors, it's easiest for the sister in there, or wait until you get to the hotel, either or. All you have to do, you will do, men and women, the last thing for the Umrah, which is cutting or shaving, halq or taqsir. For women it's easy, they just, what they take is just the tip of the finger, like this size, 1/2 inch or maybe 1/4 inch, from all the sides. She can do it under the hijab, here, and from the back. Sister is done from the Umrah. Brothers, you need to really take some hair. So you might go to the barbers, they're gonna be close to the Al-Marwa gate. But it's always the best to have your own stuff. Those personal hygiene things, you need to get them yourself, and you can do it in the hotel, or brothers can help each other doing it. You might choose to do at this time not shaving. Don't shave, because you still have to do this one more time at the end of Al-Hajj. So you might just trim, cut the hair somehow, and then you might shave after at the end of Al-Hajj, inshallah.
We can take the electric trimmer.
Yes, you can have the electric trimmer and then trim the hair somehow. Or you can always go, some of those barbers, it's, they have good standard, but because a lot of people are there, I'm not sure how you will feel comfortable to do that. But I did it in there a few times, it's fine. Just make sure they use clean stuff and so on.
Should you do it yourself or somebody else can do it for
Either or, either or.
The other thing from ethical point of view, especially for the sisters, if they take the hair, they will throw it on the floor, something, or
Well, they will throw it in there. I know it's sunnah to take it and bury it and stuff, but where? I'm trying to think. You're gonna go to the mountain and it's not easy. So you may decide. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm giving you options. You see some people cutting in there and you really need to come out of ihram. You can do it. You may do it. Easiest for sister. You may do it in there. But you may decide to wait until you get to the room. Fine. You get to the room and do it in the room, and that's going to be also easy and everything. By then, you don't have to do it. No. But you are still in the state of ihram until you do it. You are still in the state of ihram where you cannot do anything. All the things that you cannot do during ihram, you cannot do them until you come out of. That's the last point. That's the fourth of the pillars, and this is the last one. By doing that, by taking off your hair, you're out of ihram. So you can go, take the clothes off, take a shower, and do everything that you were not able to do before. That is Umrah. Umrah is done. The few things that you cannot do during ihram, the few things that you cannot do while having ihram, which begins when and where? Miqat, where? In the aeroplane. When we put it on in Frankfurt? No. That's when you announce the niyyah at the miqat, from that time. And ends when? By cutting the hair. Between those two times, everything in between, you cannot do any of those things. Anybody remind me? You cannot do what? You cannot clip the nails. What if it breaks, it broke by itself? Fine, it's okay. Like you were carrying the luggage, this and that, and one piece of it broke. Fine, not a problem. Intentionally, as long as you did not do intentionally cut the nails. What else? Cutting the hair. Don't cut the hair. What if I'm, trying? Usually in a state of ihram, يعني أشعث أغبر, you try. It's not about, combing the hair and trying to look nice. Yes, you will be good to look nice, but it's not time to really spend time in front of the mirror. And ihram is like showing Allah that I'm coming from far away. Very simple and very humble, and trying to ask for your forgiveness. But in case if you are taking a shower, because you can take a shower while having an ihram, fine. Taking a shower and some of the hair came off by itself, fine. What else that you cannot do? You cannot cover the hair for men. Women cannot cover the face and the hands. For the foot, for the men, they have to have something while below the ankles. Ankles shouldn't be covered. That's for men. Obviously, the sexual relationship, intimate relationship between a man and his wife, you cannot do that. Hunting, you cannot hunt. You're not going hunting anyway, but you cannot hunt. You cannot cut any tree. You cannot cut any tree. There. Not that many trees are there, but don't mess with any trees or anything, or any bird. Last year, subhanallah, was it in Mina or something? No, not in Aziziyah, the place we had. There was a dove that has a nest at my window. You open the window, you see it having two little babies and stuff. I can't even, قالوا حتى ولا, you can't chase it away. You can't even you can break the eggs of it. If you break the egg of this, you have to pay fidya of one animal, one goat. Yes. What else that we cannot do? Perfumes. We cannot put perfumes.
What about deodorant and sunscreen?
Sunscreen is okay. Deodorant, if it doesn't have a smell, because some deodorants, they might have some kind of smell in there, some perfumes in them, but if they are neutral or something, that's fine. Make sure also the soap that you use, all of these controversial things, you get away from them. Don't use the soap that has the scent. Always use the unscented things. And it's for the Umrah, it's going to be easy, inshallah. Yes?
While performing the Sahih, what is the favorite du'as?
There is no favorite dua. You can make dua or read Quran, but there is no favorite dua other than what I mentioned on As-Safa and on Al-Marwa. The sunnah is to say those things that I mentioned on the two hills, but in between, nothing. Every time you say them.
After every round you have to say a certain prayer.
The only dua that I mentioned in Tawaf is facing Al-Rukn Al-Yamani or Al-Jiha Al-Yamaniya here. From that corner up to here, you might say ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار, but always you can say any dua or reciting any Quran. Any other question? Anything? Naam? لا, تحية الماء, when you come to the masjid, we don't pray as we usually do. It's going to be the tawaf straight. But after that, you will have the choice. After that, anytime you come to the masjid, after that, not during salah, if salah is there, you pray right away. But if you come at any other time, you either do the tawaf if you want, or make 2 rak'ah as usual. Option is yours. Or you may do both of them, tawaf and then the 2 rak'ah. Yes?
How long will the Umrah take? Because it's going to take a little while. Can you make, until Hajj, can we make 2 Umrah?
How long does the Umrah take? That's a good question. How long does the Umrah take? The actions of Umrah, it really depends. But usually it takes 2-3 hours from the beginning of it, not from the beginning of ihram, because it's going to take several hours until you come off the aeroplane and then come to Mecca. But from the time you start the tawaf is going to take maximum an hour or something. It really depends also. Tawaf in the first floor around the Kaaba is much easier, even though it's so much crowded. Don't get intimidated, because when you look, you don't even see a space for anybody, but get down there and it's okay, inshallah. But don't try to get closer to the Kaaba, because it's really, really crowded in there. But if you go to the second floor or third floor, the circle gets really big. So you don't go there unless you really have to do. If you have your wife with you, I would say the best way is to have her like in front of you, and you'll be going behind her like that. Going next to you, don't expect you go together and she will be next to you. No, you'll miss her easy. Somebody's going to come in the middle. A lot of groups come, a lot of pushes from right and left. So you better be behind her and kind of, having some kind of protection for her. And you'll be going like that. Yes. Any other question, anything before we conclude? Yes.
Do you have to shave your head after Hajj?
You have to either shave or trim. Shave or trimming or cutting the hair. Taking part of it at least by trimming. That's what you have to do after Umrah. I said it's better. I'm just suggesting or saying it might be better that you trim after Umrah, so you still have some hair, because we still have to make Hajj, and after Hajj we have to cut again. You can shave then, but you can still shave in both cases. Shave and then shave again. Fine.
For Safa and Marwa, like you said, the one round is from Safa to Marwa.
Yes.
Or back to.
No, that's gonna be 14. Safa to Marwa is 1, and then Marwa to Safa is 2. So one way counts as a round. But some people think it's a round trip, going from Safa to Marwa and back to Safa. That's 1. No, that's too much. Gonna make it 14. So from a Safa, which is gonna be here, to Al Marwa, it's gonna be here. That's 1. And then Marwa, Safa, 2, 3, 4, 7 will be at the end of Al Marwa. Any other questions? Make sure you ask all the questions. There is no such question that's like, ask any question. Yes, sir.
Once you trim your hair, like, and you finish your first Umrah, can you then make a niyyah that you want to do another Umrah?
Yeah, I forgot to talk about this. What to do in between? I finished my Umrah, and we're gonna go there. When are we gonna go there for the first group? 21st, 22nd September. What is it in Dhul Qa'dah? Do you remember? What date of the? It's gonna be several days before the day of Hajj. So you will have no less than a week or something, several days before, a few days before you come to Al-Hajj. So many people, they get themselves exhausted in doing good things like another Umrah. Some scholars or some people say you cannot make Umrah. That's wrong. That's wrong. And they will say the Prophet didn't do it and this and that. That's true. You can always do Umrah. But the thing is, you'll do the Umrah and mashallah, you're coming, especially for those who is going for the first time, very excited. Let me make another Umrah. Umrah is easy, by the way. It looks like how, but it's easy. Let me make another one for my mother, another one for this, another one for this. Don't do that. You can do all of these after Hajj, inshallah. So I would suggest that you make this Umrah and take the rest. But what do I mean by taking the rest? Go to the hotel, pray in the masjid, read your Quran. You still have to do night prayers. Not have to do, but I mean make qiyam at night and pray and spend time in the masjid and drink zamzam and stuff. But to gain some, you're already coming from a long trip and you made the Umrah, get ready for Hajj. Hajj is the main thing you're coming for. You're not coming mainly for Umrah, by the way. Umrah is important too and obligatory, but the main thing you're coming for is Hajj. Do not get yourself exhausted by making, I see people doing like 3-4 Umrahs a day. Make Umrah and then go back to At-Tan'im. You take a bus or taxi.
You have to go out.
Yeah, they have to go out. They take a taxi and then go to At-Tan'im in Mecca and then put the ihram and come make the Umrah again. But I know, people are excited, number one, and many people, their mom or their dad didn't get the chance to do it, so they really want to make for them. Fine, but you will have the time after Hajj, inshallah. After you finish Hajj and done, alhamdulillah, with yourself, you can do for them. You will have the time, inshallah, and you can do it if you still have the energy. But don't do it right now because you get really exhausted. If you just pay attention to this. If you got flu or something, la qaddar Allah, or got sick, what can you do for Hajj? It's going to be so difficult. You're going to go to the tent and stay, in Arafat, in the mountain and sleep. So you really need to be in full shape before Hajj, inshallah. But you may do one Umrah or more, but I don't recommend this.
Suppose like after the Hajj, if you want to do another Umrah, you're already in you're already in Mecca, so you still need to go back to the Miqat.
Don't go to the miqat. What you do now is you go to the border of Mecca. The border of Mecca, the closest of those borders of Mecca is going to be like, thank you, you like half an hour trip, something like that, half an hour with the car. They take you outside the borders of the city, a place, the masjid there. You put on the ihram and come again. Masjid Sayyidah Aisha, Tan'im they call it, yeah. Yeah, okay, yes.
So we can also like just put on ihram anywhere like we're leaving. I mean, because like for this Hajj, when we're inside Mecca, we just put on ihram anywhere, any hotel we're leaving.
That's for Hajj. That's for Hajj. For Umrah, you have to go out. For making the niyyah, we didn't talk about Hajj yet. All of that was talking about Umrah. And we already made the intention in the miqat out there. But when we make another Umrah, we're not going to go all the way to where the aeroplane was. No, there is another thing that you, Tan'im or Masjid Sayyidah Aisha, it's like half an hour trip. Depends on the traffic in there. So it's not far away trip. Sure.
About like cutting the hair, the last like pillar, the fourth pillar of the Umrah. Because night time, we're still in Ihram. When we're in Ihram, we're supposed not to cut hair. So
right.
It's better like, to always ask somebody, ask Babu to cut our hair. Because you mentioned like we can either do ourselves or ask someone else to do it.
Yes.
But night time, we still didn't done the fourth pillar yet. So from that point of view, can we do like cut hair by ourselves or we should ask someone else?
You may cut your hair at the end, or you may ask someone to cut it for you. Either or. Either or. No preference.
My question is that we're still in Ihram that time.
During Ihram?
Yes.
Before that point, before finishing the sa'i?
No, before, because the cutting hair is the last step of we finish Ihram.
Yes.
So that time we're still in Ihram. So from that point of view, it seems like we can cut our hair by ourselves.
When they finish the sa'i, when you finish the sa'i,
I'm not sure if I got the question, but when you finish the sa'i,
we finish sa'i.
Fine.
The only thing left is we need to
Cut the hair, right.
At this moment, but we didn't go, we are not out of Ihram yet.
Right.
What he's asking
when
is,
we are in Ihram,
I think his question is like,
Can I cut the hair of someone else before I cut my hair? That's your question?
His question is especially a question where in Ihram you're not supposed to cut
Yes.
or mess with your hair or you know.
Right.
So you're saying we're still in Ihram. How are we allowed to cut?
that's how you end up Ihram.
That's the end of Ihram. You end your Ihram by cutting the hair. But you have to do this after doing all the other pillars. Is that your question?
My question is only like the last step kind of confusing because you cannot in Ihram you cannot cut your own hair. But now like you ending it with cutting your own hair. So is it?
That's one of the pillars of it, because at the end of it, after you finish all the other things, now the Prophet ﷺ did it, and Allah said in the Quran, is you cut. At the end of it, you cut the hair as the sign. Actually, the scholars, some of them are saying, is it rukn? Is it one of the pillars of it? They argue about that. Or is it one sign that you are ending your ihram? Some of them say it's one of the signs that you end your ihram. So anyway, after finishing the sa'i, we cut the hair and that's it.
So we can cut our own hair.
Yes. You can cut your own hair. That's fine. Inshallah. During tawaf, one question from the sisters. During tawaf, what we say beside Rabbana Atina, sunnah, there's not a specific thing sunnah that you say other than this. Beginning, we say Bismillah Allahu Akbar. And then when we face this Rukn al-Yamani or al-Jiha al-Yamaniyya, we say Rabbana Atina fi dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan. Other than this, you can say any dua. You can say any dhikr. Make dua for yourself, for your family, for Muslims, for people in Palestine, in Pakistan, everywhere, people who need your dua. This is the time to do. You can recite Quran, but do not carry any of those booklets, please. And I don't want to say some funny things. People carry some books and keep reciting, and most of the time they don't even know the meaning of what they're reciting. for the non-Arabs, and somebody was really reciting. I heard it, and some other people told me, no, I didn't hear this. Somebody told me about it. He was reading all the way to the end until he read طُبِعَ عَلَى نَفَقَةِ أَحَدِ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Usually at the end of the books, it says that was printed at the expense of one of the muhsinun. So he's reading this too. No, don't read any of those books, because Allah doesn't want you to just read words that you don't know what do they mean. No, He better wants you to say something from your heart. You are communicating with Allah Azza wa Jal. Another question from the sister: after coming out of a state of ihram before Hajj, can we use perfume, shampoo, or yes, you can use all of that. When we finish the sa'i and then we cut the hair, you are out of ihram. Out of ihram, you take off this. For men, take to the regular clothes, wear you are just like normal. There is nothing. Alas, you can have the relationship with your wife, you can have perfume, just like anything that you can do in the normal time until the time of Hajj. Yeah, perfume outside in the public. Let's not confuse things. She can have perfume and shampoos and stuff, for her husband or something. That's fine. But sisters, as we mentioned earlier, in the public, they are not supposed to wear perfumes. Generally, not only in ihram. Can sisters not wear socks? They might not wear socks. It's disagreed on. Is the foot part of the awra or not? The part of the body of the sister that need to be covered or not? Yani disagreed on. Apply sunblock before and during ihram. Yes, you may do that too, or only before. You may do it even during ihram, because it's something to help protect the skin. It doesn't have any perfume or anything. Okay. Can you provide the memorize and when you recite it, the dua and surah to memorize and when you recite? Not sure, but if you're talking about the dua and the things to recite during the tawaf, you can find a lot of booklets. You can find we mentioned most of them or many of them, but you can find a lot of books online and elsewhere having all of these prayers. Just make sure they are the authentic ones, not all of these extra prayers, the things that you do first round, second round. No, nothing like this. There is nothing like this in the Sunnah. I will take a few more questions and then we take the break, inshallah, because I need it. Yes.
If you pay for your journey for the wheelchair, the person can so well that does not have good track and they believe that they have not reached the whole 7 side rounds. So do they have to make up the remainder or what they might person have done?
Like if you are not sure the person,
did the whole 7 and if they have 5 or 6.
it's your obligation. He's saying, what if I pay somebody to take me in a wheelchair and he didn't finish? It's your obligation. They usually finish. They wouldn't cheat on you or anything. They will finish. If you get to even to the beginning of where the marble started going up, it started going up a little bit. If you get to the beginning of it and even take one step high and then come back, you did it. But don't turn and go back before you start rising this thing. But the best thing is to go all the way up and go. There is a pole in there. You go around it and come back again. That's the best thing.
I have one more question. Is it perfectly okay for men to go to Masjid Aisha for the dua or the ihram?
What is it?
Masjid Aisha is only for female. Is it okay for
No, for male too. For male, yes, for anybody. That was mainly Sayyidah Aisha when she was having the menses during the time they were coming, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, at the end he told her, he asked someone to take her there of her family members, and then she went outside of Mecca, and then she came to make Umrah, and that is the base why people go out and come to make Umrah. That's not only for females. That's your question. It's also for males as well, for those who want to make Umrah.
Why didn't they say the man with his wife, let's say he's finished and the man is still in the state of ihram, and can he assist his wife cutting her hair?
Yes.
While he is still in ihram?
Yes, not a problem. Not a problem. He can, while he is in the state of ihram, the question is, can he assist someone else get out of ihram, cut the hair? Yes, you can. Not a problem. Not a problem. You can cut the hair because you are helping him, not doing anything haram. But you cannot cut the hair of somebody who is still having ihram. You see what I'm saying? Somebody is still in the state of ihram. like making tawaf here and you are cutting his, no, you're doing something haram, you can't cut your hair or his hair. But he is done and you're trying to help him do one of the pillars. That's actually, inshallah, if you set the right intention, you are ta'awanu ala al-birri wa taqwa. You are cooperating, making ta'awun with him to do something good, so you're going to get reward for that. You're going to help your wife and she helps you, fine.
One question.
Last question, inshallah.
Last question, okay. During the tawaf and the umrah, can we carry some kind of shoulder bag, because when we need different stuff,
yes, you can have this case or
bag we can.
Yes, you have your shoes in there, you have your stuff, some of your stuff, water, bottle. Yes, definitely you can. It is allowed, and actually you see everybody doing that. So see, it's still tight. I went and I can even run with it. Still really good.
One or two ihram, we have extra.
When you get there, inshallah, doesn't even want to come out. Whose phone is this? Yes. So you will have two pieces like that. That's one piece for the lower body, and that's the other piece for the upper body. And then when you get there in Hajj, inshallah, you get one more, buy one more. It's easy. You can find them for a few riyals to be extra with you, especially for Hajj, because in Hajj you need to change. It will be, you go with this for days and days and sleep on the dirt, so you might need to change. So always there will be one with you. طيب, jazakumullah khair. Inshallah, by this we come to the end of Umrah, and then we come back for Al-Hajj, inshallah. We're going to take a break for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, inshallah, and come back, inshallah. We will start from the beginning of the Hajj to the end of it, and then we take the questions, all the questions at the end, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair, wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. احنا هنصلي العصر ولا حاجة؟ لا لسه. You can put it aside just for now.
Assalamu alaikum. Inshallah, we'll have food available, inshallah, for purchase in the next break, inshallah. So don't go anywhere, inshallah.
Pick up.
I sent you an email with it. I sent you an email.
Oh.
But you can have one.
Okay, thank you.
He was here yesterday, he had a program. So, I'm leaving now.
That'd be nice to
جزاك
have you.
الله خيرا. رحمك الله. لين أجرب سولفت الشيخ.
لازم تشتغل يا ابو عمار. خش في الجد بقى. خد يا محمد اشتغل.
الله يبارك اخي، والله عن جد اجمع الاسئله. الاسئله
هو الشيخ عبد الرحمن.
لا لبرا ولا جوا؟ ايمان لبرا
براحتك مش مشكله.
صدقني عملها لجوا.
صدقني شيخ، هاي لبرا ولا جوا؟ لبرا ولا جوا؟ ولا ما تفرق؟
لا لجوا.
لجوا. شفت؟ بدك غششنا غلط يا ابو يوسف.
انت مش مذاكر؟ انا مذاكر. انت مش مذاكر، انا عايز اشوفك انت منتبه ولا لا.
احسنت تعجبني هذا.
حط بقى الحاجات اولها وتلف وكمان من ورا كده. الميزه بقى في الحاجات الثانيه دي اقفل بس رجلك، بص وايدك خليك ماشي. جرب بقى تفهم
ممكن عمار الزمن الثاني دي اقل
يعني بتأثر عليك شويه. صغير صغير شويه.
عشان تيجي وسع.
شيخنا بالنسبه للنساء اذا كانت دخلت في العالم هي تعمل كل شيء الا الصلاه والطواف. اوكي، وبعد هيك طب لو صدف انه في عرفه وبعد عرفه في طواف انا عاد طواف الافاضه، ممكن تطوف وهي حائض؟
في بعض
يعني المجموعة هتمشي هي لسه على فوق.
حتى لو احنا هنمشي على المدينة
حتى لو هنمشي على المدينة مش ترجع معاها كمان.
هي مش هترجع خلاص.
ده الحالة الوحيدة.
طب لو ما طافت حج معروف
السنة الجاية ممكن تبقى عليها ركن من الأحلام كان أحسن
سمعت انه بتضل في ستاتس تبع الاحرام الى ان تقضي.
هي هتخرج عن كله في
اذا ما طاف. اذا ما طاف. والله حتى الرجال اذا ما طافوا
ما أنت عليه تعويض حتى إذا فقد ما
إذا عمل بعدين
تعويض في السنة الجاية. لا السنة الجاية إعادة ولا بس الطواف الإفاضة؟
حبوب
شوف استشرنا طبيبة نسائية قالت اوعوا تاخذوها قبل لأنه أحيانا بتخربط الدورة كلها. هذا انت سألت سؤال ويوسف ما جاوبوش. الماتش بين اللي هو التقويم الهجري والتقويم الميلادي جميل جدا لو يكون موجود.
هو دايما بيبقى وان امور
ما انت ما تسميش انت على التليفون حتى الدكتور اللي دعت اللي سالت بالنسبه للادعيه جميل جدا لو انت تعمل شيء وتبعت للناس المطعم معاك انه هذه الادعيه اسئله الحج قللها شيخنا لانه الحج طويل يعني خلي لكل سكشن انت ركز على الاشياء وشيء وبعدين ايميلات.
ما هي أساسون الحاجات طواف خلاص زي
جزاك الله خير شيخ.
وياك
انا طالع انا طالع بالضبط لا والله لا but you know والله no it's work look ما شاء الله يعني مثل ما هي لسه ما لفتهاش فضيحة شيخنا. الله المستعان. جزاك الله خير شيخ. الله يبارك فيك.
انا لما تيجي يا شيخ عمرو لما تيجي ترن ذيس وان اون عشان انا ماشي راح اجيب الفود.
طيب طب انا عايز هي قهوه بايظه دلوقتي.
اجيب لك شاي انا كمان ربع ساعه.
طيب بس يا ريت لو قهوه طيب قهوه
حاضر هجيب لك قهوه جاي.
طب خد مش عايز اريح شويه يعني. طب مش محدش ثانيه.
I just wanted to suggest one thing. I remember how the brothers and sisters, they are planning to go. They start collecting some money together for their Hajj trip, like husband wife. Like husband wife, they're planning for Hajj, right? You know how they say like start collecting with the niyyah for your wife first, just in case if next year comes and you're gonna start collecting with your niyyah, and if the next year Hajj comes and she cannot go for some reason, then it becomes fard on you to go, and then you have to go because you have the money, you have the help. But if you start collecting with your wife's niyyah as the Hajj, but she cannot go next year because she's pregnant or something, the following year you cannot go in that year because she can't go because the money you collected for her niyyah. But the year after, you have your money and her money now. So inshallah you can go. It's something I heard, so it made sense to me. Inshallah.
Okay. Okay, Bismillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We resume, inshallah. Talking about the actions of Hajj. We finished the Umrah. And a lot of those will be just a repetition of what's been said before. Tawaf is going to be the same. Sa'i is going to be the same. So after finishing the Umrah, with all the pillars and everything, we are done with it. We'll stay there in Mecca for a few days until the time for Hajj comes. Again, I said during those days you are just as normal. You can do anything. But some advice is do not waste your time in shopping and stuff. You can get some gifts or something, but don't waste all your time for that. Do not go far in areas that you don't know. You're just there mainly for the haram, so stay around the haram. Do not eat outside. That's something I advise. Just eat. Alhamdulillah, we have a good package, 5-star, food is good, and so just eat what you 100% trust. That's good. Don't go outside. Maybe even the food is good, but it's different. Usually, it's different. So your stomach might not tolerate that, and you don't want any diarrhea or any anything wrong to go wrong. You don't want this to happen. Then comes the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, Yawm al-Tarwiyah. What day? 8th of Dhul Hijjah. When the 8th of Dhul Hijjah comes, you are in Mecca. You don't have to go out or anything. All you do is from your place in Mecca, from the hotel, you will put on the ihram again. You start getting to the ihram again. You do the pillars of Hajj. First one of them is just like Umrah. The first one is al-ihram. You will get to the state of al-ihram. And for Hajj, the pillars are going to be like that. Al-ihram, announcing the ihram, it's going to be from Mecca. And then comes after that, al-wuqufu bi-Arafah, going to Arafah and staying there at least for a while. That's pillar. You cannot like let this go and do anything. That's not possible. And then tawaf al-ifada or tawaf al-rukn, another tawaf to be done. That has to be done. And then al-mabit bi Muzdalifah, some would say it's wajib, or staying the night in Muzdalifah. But it has to be done too. And then Ramyul Jamarat is not one of the pillars. The tawaf was sa'i actually. You do tawaf and you do sa'i after the tawaf. And then all the rest will be sunan until you cut your hair. You cut your hair as well. So, more or less, we'll be talking about the sequence. Sequence of Hajj begins what day again? 8th of Dhul Hijjah. And what do you do in this day? Niyyah or Ihram, getting to the state of Ihram, just like we did. Everything I mentioned. Taking the shower and putting perfume and making sure that you take the body hair and all of that. Do all of that before you take the shower, and then take the shower, and then put the perfume for men, and then put on the ihram for men. Women, they can have anything as long as it's clean and everything. Forgot to mention something. We always forget to mention this. For the sisters, what if anything happens and they got the menses or anything, even during the Umrah, they got the period, the blood. They can do anything and everything but the tawaf. They don't do the tawaf around the Kaaba. Obviously, they don't pray like usual, like they usually do, but they will do everything, announce the ihram and take shower and everything, just like everybody. But they wouldn't pray the 2 rak'ah. They would announce the niyyah that's talking about Umrah. And same apply for Hajj. They can do everything but or except for doing the ihram or the tawaf, because the tawaf is just like the salah, and they can do the salah. So, beginning Hajj, day 8th, it's called Yawm al-Tarwiyah. Again, all the questions, please, let's keep them to the end, inshallah, and then I answer all the questions at one time. On that day, we will make the ihram from our place in Mecca. From our place in Mecca. You don't have to go outside, from the hotel. And then you go with the group. Where are we going to go? Anybody knows? We will go to Mina. Mina is a few miles from Mecca. It might take a while because everybody is doing the same. Even though it's just like 3 miles from the haram or something. Maybe a little more, but everybody is going. So it might take a few hours, until you get there. You get there, beginning of the day. Sometimes it takes you until the afternoon, maybe even later. Fine. The sunnah is to go there on that day and stay. Here, the day 8th, you're going to be taking your tent and you take your place that you stay on. You will be spending this day, 8th, and you will be spending in the same camp day 10, 11, 12, and the 14th will be, or 13th will be optional for you. All of that is going to be in the tent that you will get to in the day of 8. So day 8, you will go to Mina. And you will get to the camp, and there are so many tents. From that time on, you have to know the number of the street, 2 numbers that you have to just know them. The street number and the tent number, or the camp number. Because all of Mina look the same. All streets look the same. They're all like white kind of tents. So you can easily, the default case is that you get lost, even if you don't easily get lost. So you have to make sure, write it down or in your phone, or just best thing is to memorize it, the number. Street number such and such, tent number such and such. So that will save you a lot of time, because if you get lost, you can easily spend the entire day going in circles. So number of the street, number of the tent, make sure. You get there, you pray, we pray 5 prayers in there. You pray Salatul Fajr of that day in Mecca, before you come. And then after Fajr sometime, and then depending on the decision, we might go early, the earlier the better. By 8, maybe 9, maybe 10, or even by Dhuhr, we go there. We reach there, we pray Dhuhr as the first prayer. We will pray all the prayers in time. All the prayers in Mina, on that day and on the 3 days or 2 days after that, we pray them in time. But the only difference is that we shorten the 4 prayers, the 4 rak'ah prayers. So we pray Salatul Dhuhr on this day, 8th. How many rak'ah? 2. Don't pray Asr yet. Then in the time of Asr, we pray 2. And then Maghrib, in the time of Maghrib, we pray 1.5. Or 3? 3, because we don't shorten Maghrib. And then we pray Isha in time, 2 rak'ah. And then we spend the night in Mina as well. And then Fajr. We pray Fajr 2 rak'ah as usual in there. After Fajr, we will start getting ready to leave. Sometimes we might be asked to leave before Fajr, after midnight or something. It takes forever to get to Arafah, because again, everybody is doing the same. Fine, it's okay. We might leave earlier than this. So what you read in the books is that we spend, that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam spend this day in there and spend the night in there, 5 prayers. Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, and Fajr of the next day. What is the next day? 9th, which is the day of Arafah. Day of Arafah. We move from Mina to Arafah. But we might move earlier. Supposedly we stay and we pray Fajr in there and everything. And then after sunrise, we go to Arafah. But we might leave earlier. Again, as we are in Mina, I'm trying to remember, make sure you know the numbers before you leave, before you go anywhere. Know the numbers. Even while you are inside the camp itself, inside the camp, all streets look the same. So again, everything is going to go by numbers. No landmarks or anything. Go by numbers. When we go to Mina, we talk about all of these details. Don't take all the luggage with you. All you really need is just a small bag. And during this time, we will leave the hotel. What we will have another apartment. Actually, we'll go like 1 or 2 days before that from the hotel to the apartment, which is closer to Mina. It's in Al-Aziziyah place, which is closer to Mina. In case any time during the several days you're staying in Mina, you need to go take some rest, take a shower, because in Mina, don't expect now, this is probably the Hajj, the real Hajj. Bathrooms are really not as expected. Services are not as excellent, but inshallah you live with that. Make sure you take towels with you, the personal stuff that you need there. That will be needed. So you are in a state of ihram now. Spend the entire day in there in Mina, and then next day you will go to Arafah with the group. We go to Arafat. It will take also some hours, few hours, maybe a couple of hours until we make it to Arafat. We go to Arafat and we will have another tent in Arafah. We stay in the tent. You will stay in the tent. Some tips for you. This is the most important day for Hajj. This is the day of Hajj. Most important. Day of 10th also is full of actions, but Al-Hajj Arafah, as in the hadith, the Nabi ﷺ said in the hadith, Hajj is Arafah, is nothing but Arafah. Most important day. And the Nabi ﷺ said the best dua, the best prayer, supplication that you can do is the dua of the day of Arafah. وَخَيْرُ مَا قُلْتُ. And the best ever that I said, me and the prophets before me, is لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. So the dua you say and you recite on that day is the best. Remember the deceased. Remember your mom and dad and kids. Make dua for yourself. Start with the akhirah. Make dua for the akhirah. And also ولا تنسى نصيبك من الدنيا. Don't focus only on the job and oh Allah give me money. And yes, Allah Jalla, ask that, but don't focus mainly on that. Focus on forgiveness and rahmah. And always ajmilu fi talab. Always don't ask Allah for specific things. Oh Allah, I need this specific girl, I need to get married to her. Or give me that amount of money. Oh Allah, choose the best for me. Oh Allah, give me the best in terms of job. So make it like general, and Allah will choose the best for you, inshallah. Make all the du'as that you want, inshallah. Avoid making dua against anybody. This is the time to forgive, so Allah would forgive. If somebody made dhulm or anything against you, unless talking about the big zalimeen, those who kill Muslims and stuff, really. Yani make dua. This is a day to make dua in, inshallah, day of Arafat. Another tip for you is many people, they go by what they watch in the TV. They see people going to the mountain. There is a nice small mountain in there. Do not leave the tent in Arafat. Please, please. First, sun of Mecca, you will know what I'm talking about when you get there. It's real sun. It's real heat. You know, walking in this sun for no reason. It's not even recommended. It's not sunnah to go to any mount, any place in Arafah. As long as you are within Arafah and your tent will be inside Arafah, don't leave it. Don't even get out in the sun unless you have to go to bathroom. And by the way, while being in Mina and Arafat, you go to bathroom when what? When you need to. I need to, I feel it now, I need to. No, this is not the strategy in Mina and Arafah. You need to really go ahead of time because you'll be in lines to get to, especially in Arafah. You can expect to get to the bathroom, expect a delay of 1 hour, maybe more, for you to, so don't wait until it's really, really bad. And how to avoid that? Eat less, exactly. So you eat less and drink water, you know, you really need to drink a lot of liquids, but eat less so you wouldn't go to bathroom that much. I'm trying to make it to give you the worst, by the way, but it might be much easier than this, inshallah. I'm just trying to give you the worst, but really there are some lines, and I saw people, wallahi, cursing each other. Wallahi, I saw people cursing each other and bad words in the line there. Ya akhi, you are Hajj in the day of Arafat. Never ever lose your temper. You're coming to make Hajj, especially for those silly things. Again, at the comfort of this masjid, inshallah, and the takif, it's easy to say it, but when you are there, it's not going to be as easy. So I'm telling you from now, and that's very important about Hajj's preparation. That's what we are trying to imagine what's coming. Regardless of which package, which group, even if the top of the top is going to be the same in Arafat, bathrooms and stuff, everybody. But bottom line, you are much better than, you are the top. You are the top, the North American tents and stuff. That's the best of the best. You see some people out there in the streets, they don't even have the tent. They don't have nothing. They're just staying there. So plan ahead of time, eat less, spend the dua, the most of the day making the dua. With the group, by yourself, take one side of the tent and cry to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Cry to Him. Yani sisters and brothers and everybody, let's talk. Let's not talk much, and because we're doing nothing, we are just sitting there. So you can be talking. Many people are sleeping most of the day. They sleep. I know they are tired, but I mean, you're here not to sleep mainly. So you're here to focus on the dua. And how to spend one full day making dua without, like, non-stop. You have to prepare yourself. Checklist. What do I need to ask Allah for? And prepare some du'as. Prepare some dua. Allah, I need to ask Allah about, you know, something for my Jannah. And inshallah for, you know, I need this and this and this and weakness in my personality. I need Allah to strengthen this. I need Allah to fix my relationship with my wife, my husband, my kids. Make them like sections, and under each section even put some stuff. Prepare yourself. And then some dua for Muslims, some dua for the deceased. Remember those who did you good, your teachers, those who supported you, helped you. Dua for your community, dua for the Muslim. So make some list. Do not just go there and what to say. So plan and make dua. This is the best. Please don't go outside. First, you're gonna easily get lost in Arafat. because you're not aware. It's much even worse than Mina. Mina is more organized, but Arafat, very, very crowded, and you spend hours and hours just getting to where you want and coming back. Masjid Namira also, many people insist to go and pray in the masjid. If everybody, the 5-6 million people go and pray in the masjid, masjid is not bigger than this, is not bigger than this masjid. How many it can accommodate? No way. Stay in there and inshallah focus on the ibadah. The khutbah, we pray there and we do the khutbah, and the food is going to come to us. Alhamdulillah, wallahi, we are blessed. Everything is there for us. Air conditioned tents and everything. Stay in there. Towards the end of the day of Arafat, after sunset, we will stay there. The buses will come to us, and we will go back from, we will pray then Dhuhr and Asr in Arafat. Dhuhr and Asr combined and shortened. That's the time, different from Mina. That's what the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did. He prayed Dhuhr and Asr in the time of Dhuhr, 2 and 2, and then khutbah, like khutbatul Jum'ah. And then you spend the entire day making the dua. The day ends, sunsets. After sunset, al-Maghrib, then the buses will come and we'll be moving to the next station, which will be Muzdalifah. So number one thing was what? On the day of 8, Mina. And Mina is not going to be only 8. We're going to come back to Mina again in the 10th and 11th and 12th, and maybe even 13 if you decide to, optional. So all of these will be in Mina. So number one part will be in Mina for the 8th, praying Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha and Fajr. Fajr of what day? Of the 9th, which is the next day. And then after praying the Fajr in the beginning of the day, we will move to Arafah or Arafat. Arafat is, why is it mentioned, this is given this name? Some scholars said because Adam and Hawa, when they first came down to earth, and then they had to everybody يعني أهبط إلى مكانين مختلفين. Some narrations في التفسير تقول Adam, when he first came, he came in India. He came from Jannah to India. That's why Allah blessed India with a lot of stuff in there. So he had to find Sayyidah Hawa. He searched for her everywhere, and she was searching for him, and they found each other in Arafat. Arafah in Arabic is to get to know, is to find or to get to know. So they got to meet in Arafat. That's one of the narrations anyway. Day 9, we are in Arafah. After the beginning of the day, a tent in there, just stay in the tent, nothing else. In Mina and in Arafat, tea and coffee and food, everything will be provided for you. Don't worry about that. And we are, alhamdulillah, all the services are being provided for free and everything, inshallah. So don't worry about that. Spend the day in Arafat. The day is done. That's what day? 9th of the Hijjah, the sunset. Then this is the night of 10th. The night, usually in Islam, the night comes before the day. So this is the night of the 10th. Tomorrow is the 10th of the Hijjah. We will move to Muzdalifah. The buses will take us, it will take long. So again, be, inshallah, calm and patient and everything. Some people, excuse me? How long, like the distance, it's a walking distance. I mean, it's not a walking distance in this. I mean, you can walk. Some people decide to walk. It takes like an hour or something to walk. Yeah, it's like just a couple of miles, maybe a couple of miles, depending where the tent is, because your tent might be in the farthest side of Arafat or the closest, because it's just next to it. It's next to it. But you might be actually just a few steps away from it, or you might be in the other side of, because this is how it is, Mecca, and then next to it is Mina, and next to Mina is Muzdalifah, and next to Muzdalifah is Arafat. Arafat actually is outside the Haram, or big part of it is outside the Haram. So again, 8 in Mina. Finish 8 and 9th in the morning, we go to Arafat. All the day in Arafat, sunsets, we go to Muzdalifah. Muzdalifah we spend only this night. Only this night. We pray, when we get there, don't pray Maghrib and Isha. You get a light meal in there in Arafat before you leave. And then you leave to Muzdalifah, you will pray. We said we leave after sunset. Don't pray Maghrib. We pray Maghrib and Isha there when we reach in Muzdalifah. Jam'a ta'khir, we combine them at the time of Isha, by whatever time we get there. Usually we get there, it really depends. Sometimes you get there even at midnight. You never know. Depends on how long it takes you. Nobody can tell. Nobody can tell. One time, the bus was there coming to take us. We were in front of the hotel, but the bus was on the other side, and it was really crowded. So all we need to do is wait for the bus until it goes to the U-turn and comes. It took 2 hours. The bus is there in front of us, but we have to wait until it just go to the U-turn in there and come to us. So this can take 2 hours or even more. So I'm telling you, patience is going to be a very, very good provision for you. Use it as a special time for you, extra time for you to make dua and dhikr. And remember, all of that was done by Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam while being on the camel. The Sahaba, while coming all the way, some of them were walking. They do all of that walking or riding on a camel. Camel will really is not comfortable. And now you are in the bus and air conditioned, everything, and we are so tired. Be patient, inshallah. So finishing the day of Arafat, this night after sunset we go to Muzdalifah. Muzdalifah is no service provided there. Zero service, almost zero. You will be on the floor. You will be in the dirt. So usually they give us either a mat or something, or you bring your mat with you to sleep on. And by then you're so tired because all the day you are making dua, and the previous day you were in the tent, and this night a lot of walking and a lot of things. So you'll be tired. Pray Maghrib and Isha with the group, or whoever is there, and then sleep. You can easily get disconnected from the group, not a problem. Always try to be close to the group, and we plan as much as possible. But if you get disconnected or something, do not waste all the time, try to find them and stuff. Always, inshallah, when you get there, try to buy the chip, the cell phone. You get a cell phone that can work with chips and it's unlocked. And then when you get there, you can find it easily. It's cheap at any of those places. You can get the SIM card, and it works. So you have a phone, especially if you have your wife with you, your mom, or anybody else that you really need to be together. That's, you can't do without it. You have to have it, inshallah, especially if you have someone with you, as I said. And also, even with the group, so you have my phone and Brother Isam's phone and everybody, so you can always find us, or we find you in case we got separated or anything. In Muzdalifah, we just go there to sleep. Pray Salatul Maghrib and Isha, Jam' Ta'khir, 3 and 2 together, back to back, and then sleep. Salatul Witr also, pray Witr, 1 rak'ah or 3 rak'ah, and sleep. Don't do anything after that. Don't do anything. You may, until you sleep or something, or after you wake up, you may collect the jamarat, the pebbles, stones from Mina. And you may wait until later. But I would recommend that you collect them from there, because you have mountain and stones everywhere. But in Mina, not that many stones. It's more like asphalt, and roads are paved and stuff. So collect them from there, from Mina. For that, you might have a Ziploc or any kind of bag. Better to have a Ziploc, so you collect, or even a bottle like this, bottle of water. You don't have to really. Some people wash the stones. You don't have to. But I mean, a bottle, just empty bottle of water, so you collect the stones in there. So the stones are going to be small, so they will fit in here. They will be small, just like the hummus or something. Small grains, not like the big ones or even the medium ones. It's going to be small ones. You may collect what you need for tomorrow, which is the 10th. And how many are we going to need for tomorrow? 7, because you will do 1 jamra, and each there are 3 of them, 3 stations to throw them. On the next day, which is the 10th, you need to do 1, which is the biggest one, Al-Aqaba Al-Kubra, the greatest of them. That's going to be the next day. What day? Where are we now? Where are we now? We are still in Muzdalifah. We didn't leave. We're still in Muzdalifah, spending the night. The night of tomorrow is the 10th. Yesterday was Arafat. We spent the 9th in Arafat. And tonight we are in Mina. In Muzdalifah, spending the night in there. Prayed, Maghrib and Isha, trying to get some water and stuff, and then sleep. Collect the stones. You might collect at any part of the night, collect the stones. So you might collect only what you need for tomorrow, which is 7, or you might collect what you need for the rest of all the days, which is going to be total 2 days or 3 days, choice. You might decide to spend 2 days in Mina or 3 days. So if you spend 2 days, and each day you have to do 7 times for the 3 different stations, which is maximum one day will be 21, or one day will be, each one day will be 21 pebbles, which is 7, 7, and 7. And you need 2 sets of those or 3. 2 sets of those or 3. 2, if you decide to go for 2, how many pebbles you need? 40? 2 plus the 7 that you have to do the first day, that's going to be 49. If you decide to تتعجل. But if you decide to stay for the third day, you need extra 21, which will make the total 70. So you might collect 70 stones. Collect 70 stones. So you have extra in case somebody needs some, or you might lose some or something. You might collect them in there and keep them with you. You sleep, make sure you take enough sleep. It's I really enjoy it. I know it's many people, it's kind of you can look at it as humiliating and stuff. You're really in the dirt. But wallahi, this is one of my favorite. Yeah, and you look at the sky and as if you are dead. And sometimes you see the entire valley, you can't see the dirt. People asleep everywhere. You see in the top of the mountain, people are there. Tents everywhere. As if you are dead. Why are we coming here? Why we are in the dirt? Why are we leaving all of that? It's for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. So reflect on that. But try not to be on the way of the people. You see people, you know, try to go the farthest next to, but don't go next to the mountain. Last year there were some stones. People keep, I mean, youth, most part, they keep climbing and stuff, and they might cause some stones to come down. It was really dangerous. Big stone came next to us when we were sitting, and alhamdulillah, we don't know, just away from us. So just go far. Always join the group. And inshallah we'll try to find a safe place or something. But never stay on when you expect people to pass, because when people pass, they walk everywhere, and if you sleep or something, they can step on you. So just try to choose a safe place and sleep, inshallah. We might decide to leave after the midnight, or we wait until the next day. Usually we wait until Fajr, inshallah. But if somebody, you know, he has his wife with him, an elderly mother or father, or even he decides it's too hard for him and he needs to go, then it's okay. And by midnight, it doesn't mean 12 o'clock. Midnight doesn't mean, for us here, usual time, it's 12 o'clock. But midnight in Islam is what? Time of Maghrib, the sun sets, and then Fajr time, times 2. Like, for example, if sun sets at 7 p.m. and then Fajr in the next day is at 6, then how many hours do we have? That's 5 and 6, right? We have 11 hours. So times 2, divide by 2, I'm sorry, 5.5 hours. What time we said Maghrib is going to be? 7? So 5.5 hours from 7 is going to be 12:30. So that's going to be midnight. That's just an assumption. I'm not saying, numbers are just an example. That the midnight for that example of night that I just is going to be 12:30, not 12 o'clock. So you have to wait until 12:30. Usually it's before 12 o'clock. It's before the regular midnight. It's usually 11:30, something like that. But anyway, spend, you know, at least the first half of the night, and then the weak, the elderly, women. If somebody really he thinks he needs to go, he's completely exhausted or something, he doesn't think he can make it to the next day, then you can continue. If you stay, then you pray Salatul Fajr in there. Where are we now? Where are we? In Muzdalifah. We spend this night in there. Then we pray the Fajr in there. When we pray the Fajr, we keep making dua. This is Sunnah of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. كان يمكث في المزدلفة حتى يسفر جدا, until almost the day breaks, before sunrise yet. It's before sunrise, but a lot of light is coming. This is the time you leave. He used to go to Al-Mash'ar al-Haram. Mash'ar al-Haram used to be a small mountain or hill, but now there is a masjid, but we are far away from it. We don't try to get. If it's in our way, we can come to it. As Allah said, فَذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ عِنْدَ الْمَشْعَرِ الْحَرَامِ. You go to Al-Mash'ar al-Haram, this place, or mosque or masjid, and you make dhikrullah. But if not, you can make dhikrullah in general and make dua. and then leave from Muzdalifah. By then you will be extremely tired. And usually we get barely any kind of sleep at this time, as this night, because it's really unusual. It's on the dirt and stuff, especially if you're not comfortable, if you don't feel comfortable with all of that. So we leave, and we are now after Fajr, almost the beginning of what day? I need everybody to say it. If you are confused, make sure. What day? 11 or 10? Last day was Arafah. Day was Arafat, which is the 9th. And then we spend the night that comes after the 9th, between the 9th and the 10th, which is Muzdalifah. We spend it in Muzdalifah. Then the next day, this day is what? 10th, which is here for anybody is the day of what? Day of Eid. Day they slaughter and everything. In this day, a lot of actions will be there. A lot of actions for Hajj. What you do is, the order, as the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did it, is like that. The first thing you do, Jamratul Aqaba. You have to throw the stone of Jamratul Aqaba, the biggest of the 3 stations, which is in Mina. You're coming from Muzdalifah again, either walking or wait for the bus. To go and throw it in Mina. We might delay it until later a little bit, but it's always better because it's in your way back anyway. Jamratul Aqaba al-Kubra, 7. You go there and you throw it 7 times, and with each time you say Bismillahi Wallahu Akbar. 1 time. You don't have to go hard or anything. And one strategy is, don't go with everybody. Everybody will be going straight to it. The Jamrah is big, is as big as this wall or something. So everybody, if you are coming from the parking lot, everybody will be going straight to the first portion of it. No. Go straight and go to the other end of it. It will be usually almost nobody is there. So it will be much lighter. And go one by one. Don't throw all the 7. And it's not shaitan that's in there, so don't go like furious and no, just easy. And yeah. Oh yeah, some people really hit him hard, as Sheikh Yasser was saying. Wallahi, yani, we see them, he get the shoes, and I saw some people even cursing in the Egyptian because they know what they're saying. Allah yakhrib bik, and stuff. He's cursing and no, don't go like that. And he mentioned about somebody, I didn't see that, but he mentioned about somebody who got a gun and started shooting it. It's not shaitan, it's just a symbolic thing, because what happened in there is Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, as when Allah ordered him to slaughter his son Sayyidina Ismail, what happened is he came to him. In one narration, he came to him 3 times. He said, how could you kill him? Yeah. Then he stoned him. He said, no, at the order of Allah. 2nd time, 3rd time. Another narration mentioned he came to him. He came to the son in the beginning. He said, how could you crazy? How could you listen to this man killing you? So the son Ismail throw him. He came to the mother. He said, are you going to leave him? Kill your son? She did the same thing. And he came to Sayyidina Ibrahim, he also did the same thing, subhanallah. So muraghama al-shaitan, it's a symbolic thing that here I am opposing everything, condemning this shaitan. And yani, so you throw it 7 times. It's going to be on that day, first thing of the day of Eid, 1 time, the biggest one. They're the smallest one, the first and the second, you don't do anything with them, only the biggest one, the 3rd one, the big one, the closer to Mecca. You do it. That's the first action of the day of Eid. I will ask you at the end. I will ask you. First thing, when you come on the 10th, is you do that. Don't go to the haram. Many people go straight to the haram. They want to pray Salatul Eid and they want to, don't worry about that. If you can make it, alhamdulillah. But if you can't, you don't have to anyway. So, do Jamratul Aqaba. And then you do the Nahr, which is the slaughter. But obviously we don't do it. Nobody does it. Nobody does that. What you do is you buy the coupon ahead of time and you will do it in your behalf. And alhamdulillah. So, and then the first thing, Rami, throwing. The second thing is Nahr. It's going to be done on your behalf anyway. You buy one for yourself and one for your wife, or everybody that you are responsible for, you buy one for each Hajj. And then Halq. You cut or shave the hair in there. Either do it yourself or go to the tent in Mina, because you're going to be going to the tent now. Some barbers are there, or somebody can help you, or can buy some those razor things and you do it for yourself, or somebody does it for you. Either way. Or go, inshallah, you might decide to go straight to Mecca, and after you finish, or even before you finish, you can make it. So Rami, throwing, nahr, slaughtering, it's going to be done in your behalf anyway, and halq, trimming or shaving the hair. And for women, as we mentioned, they take a tip of the finger and scissor from the right, from the left, from the back, top, like 4 or 5 different places in the hair, and she would be done. And same for brothers, they might shave. Now it's time, better for them to shave. For each hair that come out of you, it takes away 1 sayyah. Inshallah. So each hair that comes out, Allah takes away 1 bad deed from you. And might be even, inshallah, good hasana, give you 1 good deed. So, excuse me. So we did the rami, we did the nahr, we did the halq. And then we do, by then when we do the halq, we still in the state of ihram, all of that. Men having this on, moving and spending the night in Muzdalifah and in Arafat, all of that. From what time did we start having this on? From when? 8th, when we were in the hotel, remember? So we spent 1 day, 8, in Muzdalifah, in what? In where? Mina with it. And then the next day where? In Arafah. And then the next night in Muzdalifah. And then the 10th, the first part of the 10th in the morning in Mina with it on. This is the time to end that. Tahallul al-asghar, which is the first we come out of the state of ihram. All of that was called the state of ihram. And during that time, from 8th up until now, all the things that we mentioned you cannot do during ihram, they apply in there. You can't do them. Now, you get out of the state of ihram not like umrah altogether, in 2 stages. First stage and second stage. The first stage, which is this one, when you take it off, when do you take it off? After saying, after doing all of that, and then halq that I mentioned so far, and then you do the halq, done. You can take the clothes off, you can do everything except for 1 thing, which is the relationship between the husband and wife. Obviously, you know, it's not fit for any of that, but you can't. You still can't. When can you have this relationship? After the tawaf. So the next step is going to be tawaf, the pillar for Hajj. You remember the tawaf we did last time was essential for Umrah. Now this is essential for Hajj, and it's called Tawaful لا not al-Qudum. Al-Qudum was there. Tawaful Ifada, Tawaful Rukn. It has other names. No, not Wida, not this Wida at the very end before we leave. It has another name. The Indo-Pakistani brothers, they used to call it 1 name, I forgot it now. Anyways, I remember it, inshallah. So this is the tawaf for Hajj. You do it, and then you go to Mecca, you will go with these clothes, normal. Alas. All you do is the tawaf, and then you do sa'i after it. Sa'i essential for the Hajj as well. You may do it in that day, which is the 10th, but many people, especially the elderly, they are so much exhausted. Khalas. To go to Mecca on that day, it takes forever. And I don't want to tell you my way. I don't even recommend it for anybody. But sometimes I do it. And the best way then is at the bab, the motorcycle. Motorcycle, people take you from Mina, you go behind someone. This is the fastest. He takes you to the haram, shortcuts, I don't know what they do, in no time. Getting to the bus, if you try to get to any bus, you will get down after so many hours, and all the area that covered is from here to there. You get there and stay for an hour, another hour, and third hour, 3 hours, and it's not moving. So you either walk or find out anyway. So we always recommend, don't make it on that day. You can always delay it, not a problem. You can do it tomorrow or after tomorrow. But if you have some power and you want to khalas get done and everything, you can always go to the haram, even though it's so crowded in that day. But actually that's what I see. Some other imams and some other people, they argue that no, it's actually the best time to do it because everybody is tired and everybody goes to the tents, and this is the best time to do it. Anyway, from now on, the next 2-3 days, the haram is going to be crowded, completely crowded, because everybody is doing the same thing. So what is left for us is to go to Mecca, which is a few miles away, if you can walk, and by then, inshallah, you will khalas, you will be not feeling your legs or anything. You'll be walking for long distance. What happened to me, at least, is you get to a point you're really extremely tired and it's aching. Everything is aching. Your back, but you get to a point that khalas, it doesn't make any difference. You can walk. Nothing is. You don't feel it. It's khalas. It's okay. Like the time of your sleep. You sleep every day at 10 or something. you really are drowsy and you need to sleep, but if you keep awake for an hour, another hour or two, halas, you don't need to sleep, it's gone. Something like that. Anyway, if you can walk, inshallah, you can do it. Go to Mecca, you do the tawaf 7 times, the same way we explained it. Same way, but the only difference is that you're not having ihram. You're not in the state of ihram. 7 times, same everything, having wudu, have to have wudu, and everything we explained for this tawaf. And then after it, you might take some rest, you might go for the sa'i. All of that time you will have your luggage, the main luggage and stuff, not in the hotel, in the apartment, which is closer to Mina. Closer to Mina. Many people prefer then when they make the Rammi and the Halq to go take a shower or something in this apartment. It's a lot of walk too, and get some rest, and maybe after Dhuhr or something they go to Mecca to do the tawaf. It's also a good option for you. Everybody actually is it's open for anything. If you prefer to go, not to go back to the tent, because the other option is to go to the tent. Some people also prefer to go to Mina and stay there, but the tent is actually, the air condition is not really an air conditioner, it's just like a fan, and it's really hot and stuff. So I personally prefer to go to the apartment and get some rest and shower and stay there for a few hours, because nothing is left for me except for the tawaf. Khalas, I made my rami and everything. Time, inshallah. And we finish the tawaf in Mecca. We come back, we have to come back after finishing the tawaf. Nothing is left but to go to Mina for the next 2 or 3 days and spend the night there. Al-Mabitu bi-Mina. And then Ramyul Jamarat in the day, throwing the 3 stones. So, what do we do in the day of 10th? Quickly, from the beginning. Day of 10th, we left Muzdalifah, we are coming to Mina, day of 10. What do we do? Stoning, number 1 thing, Rami. Number 2, Nahr, they will be done, which is slaughtering. Be done on your behalf anyway, okay? Please make sure you're following with me. Number 3, Halq or Taqsir, shaving or trimming the hair, better to shave. Well, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made dua 3 times for those who shave, and he made dua 1 time for those who trim. Excuse me. Naam? No Salatul Eid. If you join them in the haram, you manage to, good. But don't try to, because it's going to be too difficult. To make it from Muzdalifah, we said we stay in Muzdalifah up until it's close to sunrise. It's not required. It's not required at all, and it's not even recommended. It's not for you. Salatul Eid in haram. So you are busy already. This is Yawmul Hajj al-Akbar, as Allah called it, the greatest day of Hajj, 10th, full of stuff. Big argument amongst scholars, is it the 9th or the 10th? Both of them are the most 2 important days of Hajj. So Rami, stoning, Halq, Nahr, done on your behalf, slaughtering, Halq, trimming or shaving, and then going to the Mecca to make the tawaf 7 times and the sa'i. Then you come back to Mina. You might go to the hotel, the room, the apartment for a while, but then by the night you have to go to Mina, spend the night over there in Mina. The next day is what day? 11th of Dhul Hijjah. On that day, after Dhuhr, and that day, so we said in the 10th, you do the throwing right away. When you leave Muzdalifah, you can go straight. And those who even leave earlier, for those, the sisters or the elderly or whoever decide to leave earlier after midnight, they go straight to the Jamarat and they can throw the Jamarat at night, not a problem. But for the other Jamarat on the day of 11th, it has to be done after Dhuhr. You pray Dhuhr or something, from Dhuhr to Maghrib. You can do it anytime, after Dhuhr, or wait until late after Asr when the sun breaks a little bit, you go. You will do on the day of 11, and in the next day, which is the 12th, and if you choose, also you can do the 13th, you will do in each of those days, the 3 of them, al-Jamarat. Starting with the smallest one, 7 times. The same thing as we mentioned. You finish it, after you finish throwing it, what's different than the other one? Is that you face Mecca, al-Qibla, and you make dua. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to make a long dua in there, after you finish it. And then move to the next one, and you make a long, long dua to Allah. Facing the Kaaba, you be saying the Kaaba, this tower and the clock that they have there is really visible from everywhere. You can see it and make dua. Do the 3rd one, which is the biggest one, the one that you did on the day of Eid, and then don't make dua after it. Just go straight. And again, be aware, try to be aware of where you're going, the street number, the tent number, and everything. That's gonna happen on the day of 11. All you have to do on those days is stay in Mina. We will pray the rak'at in Mina, the prayers, each prayer in time, but we shorten the Dhuhr and Asr and Isha, shorten them, and instead of 4 we make them 2. Every salah in time, and all we do during the day, from Dhuhr to Maghrib, we do the Rami, anytime during that. And at night, we spend most of the night in there. Best thing is to stay in there, don't go nowhere, don't keep going to Mecca and coming back, unless you didn't do the tawaf yesterday and you have to do it today or something. You can always do that. You can delay the tawaf, don't do it on the first day, you can do it 11th or 12th or even 13th. That's what you will do in the 11th. And on the 12th, and on the 13th if you decide to. The Prophet ﷺ waited until the 3rd day, the 13th. But majority of people, many people, they go after the. Allah said, فَمَنْ تَعَجَّلَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. Whoever rushes and does them in 2 days, no sin on him. وَمَنْ تَأَخَّرَ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. And whoever delays until the 3rd day, no sin on him. لِمَنِ اتَّقَى, as long as you fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then, finishing that, after the 2nd or the 3rd, you will be waiting in the, you go back to the apartment and you stay there until it's time for us, inshallah, to leave to Medina. Then we make, when it's day to leave Medina, we will pack everything and get our luggage and get ready. And before we leave, we make tawaful wada', which is just tawaf, no sa'i, going with having wudu. We make 7 times as if, a farewell, as if we're saying the farewell for the Mecca and for the Haram and for the Kaaba, and leaving. By this we finish the Hajj. What remains is Ziyaratul Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam wal Medina wa Masjid al-Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That's not even part of Hajj. If you leave home, that's fine. But ليس من الأدب ولا كذا, يعني to be there and not to. We're visiting Medina, inshallah, and that's going to be the candy of Hajj. The time you spend in Medina is different. The experience of Medina is completely different from Mecca. Completely different. Now it's time, inshallah, for questions. I hope I didn't forget anything, but help me, inshallah, if you have any. Is it time for Asr now? Do we make mashura? Can we make mashura quickly? If you want, do you want to go for the food and then come back, or finish all the questions and then go for the food? Okay, if you want to go for the food, raise your hand. Food first, raise your hand. Okay, so inshallah majority. If you want a question first, go for the question first, raise your hand. I guess it's majority. خلاص. يلا بسم الله. تفضل يا شيخ.
I noticed that you said, like every, like that you can choose to do this or that. Then from your experience, when you recommend to stick with the group and we're gonna do things as a group, and when you just go and you do things your own way.
That question is really good. He said, the question again for the sister, he said, sometimes they say you might do that or you may do that. So it might be a little confusing for some people. So he said, from my experience, what is it? Is it better, when is it better to stay with the group? When is it better to decide? The answer for that is really, it varies. Not everybody is the same. Somebody really needs to stick with the sheikh and with the group, and he thinks it cannot be done in any other way. He doesn't really know much how to do, and he prefers to stick with the group. Fine. For the best for those people is to stick with the group. Many people, mashallah, they know. They read a lot about it and they know what to do, and they prefer not to. If the group decide, for example, we will leave after midnight. Just as an example, majority of people are there weak and it's not only for being weak or stuff. If you wait until the morning, sometimes when your turn comes for the bus, you might wait for long hours. You're waiting for the bus. So buses might be available after midnight or something. So if somebody decides, no, I don't want to go with the group, I want to stay until the do the sunnah and everything, khalas, fine, alhamdulillah. If somebody of the group and the day of Eid decides, we are too tired and we have a lot of people who are really sick and stuff, so let's delay the tawaf until tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow. He decides or she decides, no, I need to go to Mecca, I still have some energy and I'm fine, I can go. Fine, you can always go. So it's really a choice of the person. The only thing in Arafat, in Arafat, and in Arafat, yes, in Arafat you don't need to do anything by yourself. You have to stick with the group, inshallah. Yes, akhi.
Why you don't let go to
Jabal al-Rahma, he said why we don't go to Jabal al-Rahma. Jabal al-Rahma is, if you know, first, it does not have any significance whatsoever. It does not have any significance, and I mean it, not in the hadith, not in anything. It's just like the pictures and stuff, just like the Quds, Al-Quds for example. When I say Al-Quds, in the mind of everybody, what is Al-Quds? It's this golden dome. You know what I'm talking about? The golden dome. That's not Al-Quds. That's Masjid Qubbat al-Sakhra. Al-Quds Masjid is Al-Aqsa, is next to it, is somewhere else. It's not the most famous thing that we have it. That's not the Masjid Al-Aqsa. So everybody thinks of Arafat as Jabal al-Rahma, and we go there and climb the mountain. It does not have any significance. It's not even recommended. It's not even recommended. Arafah, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam stayed there in one place. قال وقفتها هنا وعرفة كلها موقف. I stayed here, but it doesn't mean that everybody should stay here. Anybody can stay there. And he did not climb the mountain. He did not climb the mountain.
That mountain, the judgment on the judgment day, that is more important than the...
No, it does not, as far as I know, it does not have any significance whatsoever. If somebody decides to, he needs to go to Jabal al-Rahma again. It doesn't mean that we are in a group that we will force things on people. Somebody wants to go there, khalas, go find it. And usually it might be far, really far from where you are. You have to find it first of all, because it's a big, all of it is like tents, and you have to ask and you have to get to it. A lot of time it may be wasted trying to find it and come, and then in your way back you might get sun, you know, be affected by the sun or something. Again, recommendation based on experiences, don't go nowhere, you will waste time, stay in there. But if somebody decides to go, I have every year we have people who insist to go, fine, khalas, go, you can go, not a problem. Any questions?
Tawaf al-Wida needs to be done as part of the last day of the Hajj, or it could be done after like 3-4 days after the Hajj?
Which tawaf? The day, tawaf al-Wida, the last thing of the before leaving Mecca. The last thing before leaving Mecca. Last thing is after you pack and everything, and then you're just waiting to leave. You leave. You do before you leave.
So sometimes the time constraint might not be able to do the tawaf al-Wida because the group is leaving for Medina or some miscalculation or like that. So what
we, as a group, we announce it. We know for sure this is the time we're leaving, or we're expecting the bus to come at this time, and we tell everybody, you can do it from that time to that time, here, after Fajr or something. You will know for sure. You can't miss it. Nobody misses Tawaf al-Wada.
On the day of them, before shaving off, after Udhaya is done, can you go ahead and do the Tawaf of Hajj and then do shaving after that?
Yes, you can do that. You can do that. But usually it's very easy to do the shaving in there. On the day of Hajj, if you do even, I mentioned some things, some scholars mention, or many scholars, if you do only 2 of those things, you are out of ihram. Many scholars said if you do, we mentioned what to do, rami, and nahr, buying the coupon, and then cutting the hair. If you do only 2, any 2 of those, you are out of ihram. You are out of ihram, the first stage, getting out of ihram. So, yes. On the day of Eid, the first thing we go to throw the stones, yes. In Mina.
And then from there, the bus will take us to do Tawaf?
Usually no. The bus will not take us. You have to figure out your own. Yeah, because Mecca is like packed on that day. Walk. If you want to go straight, just walk. 2 hours, maybe. 1 to 2 hours walk from Mina, from the place of Jamarat, and inshallah, alhamdulillah, this year we are next to it, so it's going to be an hour. It really depends on how fast you are, if an old person or something, but it's not horrible distance or something. You can. Transportation is also there, but sometimes it takes forever to get there. It takes forever. Yani, if you are lucky, inshallah, you find not going to be as. But if you cannot do it, you can always wait until the next day or something. They have trains, but that's I think a different. We're not having the train in our package. No train in our package. And subhanallah, yani, it's supposed to make things easier, but I have been to the train also, and it really didn't make a big of a difference, simply because like it takes you from Mina, from Arafat to Muzdalifah, between to go to the station, yani you might be here and Muzdalifah is here and the station is right there. You go big trip, long trip to the station, and then out from the train to where your tent is, you might walk a lot, so it's not really worth it. That's what happened with me at least 1 year. But the distance, the time it takes, travel time, is really no time. It's 2-3 minutes. But to get to the station and then out of a station really takes long. I think it's the same time that you can go straight, walk into from here to there. Yes.
I know like we don't pray any sunnah prayer, just finish like in the farm. So like after we make a lot of dua, I do some nafil prayer. Is this something that allowed to do or something good to do?
When? We're talking about when? Arafat, yeah, it's Arafat, you are shortening even the fard. The fard is shortened, you don't know it complete. So don't do any sunnah. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not pray any sunnah or any nafil, he did not pray. But what you do, if you want to do the sunnah in the right way, you make a lot of dua, a lot of other, things, but not sadaqah. You might, I mean, any good deed that you can do, but the best and the easiest to do in there is to make dua, inshallah. You might, wallah, I find some people who do some really creative ideas. They go out and get some water and give people water, trying to give water for people who are walking in the street. I mean, you can think of any good deed to do, but the best and the easiest is to make dua, inshallah. If you are reciting Quran and then a sajda of the recitation comes, then there is a reason to make sajda. But just to make sujood like this with no reason for, it's not a prayer, it's not sajda to tilawa, not recommended. It's not recommended too. Actually, I have Brother Assam waving for me. End of the session, we are over the time now. So inshallah, it's almost enough time for you to take the dinner before Asr, inshallah. By this we come to the end of this session, but always inshallah you can get access. We will be with you inshallah during the Hajj bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. May Allah Jalla. Let's make dua inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah. Allahumma yassir lana hajjana wa taqabbalhu minna ya rabbal alameen. Oh Allah, make our Hajj easy, facilitate Hajj for us and make it easy on us ya rabbal alameen. Oh Allah, give us the understanding of this ibadah ya Rabbal Alameen. Oh Allah, give us the best of intention before we get to it ya Rabbal Alameen. Oh Allah, make it easy for us and accept it from us and make it hajjan mabruran ya Rabbal Alameen. Oh Allah, make us healthy until we catch Hajj and make us healthy during Hajj and give us the best to say and to do during Al-Hajj ya Rabbal Alameen, and accept it from us after that ya Rabbal Alameen. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. You can always send emails and stuff, and we'll be with you inshallah azza jalla all through bidnillah. The last session is after Maghrib. Are we going to have some time for question and answer?
Yeah,
after Asr. So yeah, we can continue after Asr if you have any questions. After Maghrib or after Asr?
After Asr, we're going to continue with the questions, and then we're going to break for Amar and come back after that.
طيب inshallah. So if you have any questions or so, we can continue after Salatul Asr inshallah. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. الله فإن أحصرتم فما استيسر من الهدي. In the state of ihsar, Allah said complete the Hajj and Umrah, but in case you are stopped somehow, there is a war, you cannot continue, you got sick for any reason, you stop, you're not able to continue, that's ihsar. He said فما استيسر من الهدي, all you have to do is slaughtering the hadi or offering the the sheep, buy a coupon for a sheep or something. فما استيسر من الهدي. Then towards the end of the ayah he said فإذا أمنتم فمن تمتع بالعمرة إلى الحج فإذا أمنتم فمن تمتع بالعمرة إلى الحج فما استيسر من الهدي. Then if you make tamattu', he said if you make tamattu', like Umrah by itself and Hajj by itself, that's taken an advantage of one trip, making Hajj and Umrah, then the sunnah for that, Allah said فما استيسر من الهدي, you make one hadi. You make hadi فمن تمتع بالعمرة فمن لم يجد, if you cannot, فمن لم يجد فصيام 3 أيام في الحج و7 إذا رجعتم, you fast for 3 days in Hajj and 7 days when you come back. So for tamattu', if somebody cannot buy the coupon, which is usually $120, something like that, then you might fast for 3 days in there, or plus 7 days when you come back. Other than this, if you, anybody, the other kind of fidya of irtikab al-mahdhur, we have 2 kinds of fidya. Fidya for tark al-wajib. Fidya if you skip any of the wajibat. It should be done, it should be like a blood that coupon that you buy for everything that you broke or you missed, I mean, and it should be fine. But the other fidya, the other kind of fidya is for irtikab al-mahdhur, or doing any of the things that you cannot do during ihram. That's a different kind of fidya. وَأَتِمُّ الْحَجَّ وَالْعُمْرَةَ لِلَّهِ فَإِنْ أُحْصِرْتُمْ فَمَا اسْتَيْسَرَ مِنَ الْهَدْيِ Can you get me يا شيخ the ayah? Then the ayah mentioned that فَفِدْيَةٌ مِّن صِيَامٍ أَوْ صَدَقَةٍ أَوْ نُسُكٍ فَمَنْ كَانَ بِي أَذًى مِّن رَأْسِهِ. If you have any problem with your head and you have to shave, it happened with one of the companions, Ka'b ibn Ujra. He had some trouble with his head and he had to shave. He had to shave his. So An-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered him to shave his head. Then he made one of the, he had to break one of the things that he shouldn't break of al-mahdhurat. Then in this case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said what? فَفِدْيَةٌ مِّن صِيَامٍ. You could fasting 3 days. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained to us, fasting 3 days. That can happen even after you come back from Hajj. Different from the other fidya of tark al-wajib. فَفِدْيَةٌ مِّن صِيَامٍ أَوْ صَدَقَةٍ. You pay a sadaqah. A sadaqah in this case is to feed 6 people. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained it. Feeding 6 people in the haram. أَوْ nusuk. Or it could be as regular. Buying a coupon for a sheep or goat or something. So these are the different kinds of fidya. Confused a little bit? So we have 2 kinds of fidya. Fidya for at-tamattu'. At-tamattu', for making tamattu', as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained, it should be nusuk. Number 1 thing, which is buying, blood, like offering a sacrifice. But if you cannot do that, then Allah said what? فَمَنْ لَمْ يَجِدْ فَصِيَامُ 3 أَيَّامٍ فِي الْحَجِّ وَسَبْعَةٍ إِذَا رَجَعْتُمْ. The other alternative for that is to fast 3 days in Hajj and 7 days when you come back. That's for the fidya for tamattu'. The other kind of fidya is fidya for tark al-mahdhur, for fi'l al-mahdhur, for somebody who does something that he shouldn't do. That's a different category. It could be optional, it's optional. Fidyatun min siyam, fasting 3 days. Aw sadaqatin, feeding 6 people, giving charity to feed 6 people, as the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained to us. Aw nusuk, or it could be as regular, sacrificing, or offering a blood. No, aw, you choose. You choose. ففدية من على التخيير. Usually the easiest way people buy coupons, because there are a lot of kiosks in there where you can buy. That's what usually you do. You either ask the leader of the group, usually he collects from people and he buy it for you, or you can buy it yourself in there. It's usually 450 riyals, something like that, which is around 120, 130. It depends, really depends on each year. They make it different. You buy it for yourself ahead of time for fidyat al-tamattu'. Ahead of time. That's what you can do. But again, if I said it's different from that if you break any of the rules. Somebody put on the clothes. First of all, if you put it intentionally with no need, there is sin. You need to make istighfar to Allah. But if you really have to, then you do it like Ka'b, this companion of the Prophet, but then you have to make the fidya for that, which is, as I said, optional. Either one of three things. Got it? Yes. You can take shower in Mina. Actually, that's what I do every time. And instead of making wudu, the easiest way, take it off, because it's easy to really take it off, and take shower quickly. And you know, you can always take shower, but don't rub your head too much. They have water and shower, yes. Bathrooms are not as clean as you might expect them, but they are not too bad. I mean, you can take shower in there. Only arrange ahead of time because you might have some lines, especially in Arafat.
And in Muzdalifah, are there lights?
There are lights, but the worst thing is the bathrooms, because it can take really forever. Yeah. Is there any reason? He asking, can you put gel in your hair? Do you really need to? So no, if you know, during ihram, if there is something, the reason, yeah, I mean, try to implement what's in the hadith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the angels, انظروا إلى عبادي جاءوني شعثا غبرا ضاحين. Allah Azza wa Jalla in the day of Arafat, He said, look at my slaves, my servants, they are coming to me. Al-Ash'ath, yani somebody who is not, his hair is not combed or anything. He's long walking and a lot of dirt. Ghubran, they have a lot of dirt on them. Dahin, with their heads uncovered in the sun like this. So you try to implement this to show Allah that you are in need for Him, not coming, you know, with any kind of any luxury or any kind of excessive thing.
Do you take a sleeping bag to
you have to ask Brother Isam for are you providing the sleeping bags, or they have to bring it? You have to bring the sleeping bags like a mat or something. You can buy this from there.
I have a question regarding that. Like mostly the sleeping bag, I mean, you can just zip up, open zip and slip into that.
Yes.
Can we do that in Muslim?
Yes, you can use the blankets and cover and everything, but don't cover your face unless you really need to when it gets like really cold, but it doesn't get that cold in Mecca and Muzdalifah. So you can cover yourself and everything, especially when you sleep. You will be sleeping in Mina the first day, and then in Muzdalifah, and maybe in Arafat if you decide to take a nap or something. Not a problem, as long as you're not covering your head or your face.
What kind of clothes a person should take?
Good question. What kind of clothes? Always go for the cotton, the light clothes and cotton, and you know, the soft fiber thing, and take a lot of underwear for men and even for women. Take a lot of, you know, several underwear, because you don't really need to wait until you wash and clean and stuff. You know, whatever gets dirty, just put it aside, and then later when you get to the hotel, you can make some arrangement or something. So take several of those underwear, you know, change and stuff. And for the clothes, always go for light things. Don't take many of those. You can take one or two of the regular things, and then you can buy the rest there if you are used to what I'm dressing in here. So always try as light as possible, inshallah.
Are there any kind of restrictions on the footwear that you wear?
For the footwear, the only restriction is that your ankles for men should not be covered. So anything that goes below the ankles, whatever you call it, slippers, flippers, flip-flops. Yes, if everything is covered but the ankles, fine, that's fine.
Have you seen those Crocs?
Yes, that's what I use. That's the best thing. The Crocs thing is the best, because if you use anything else of those, you expect people to step on them as you are walking. So you have to have the hard material stuff, and at the same time it's light and easy and simple. And the ankles are not covered, and they have even the thing from the back the strap from the back, that's also good. It helps when you need it. So that's what I recommend. And you can, even with the stitches thing, the problem with the stitches thing is like I'm wearing right now. The stitches is like one piece, here you see it, and then they get another piece that's connected to it, and then another piece to fit it around myself. But that's not the case with the two sheets, for example. So with the shoes, for example, that doesn't apply. If you have stitches in the watch belt or something, not a problem. المحيط, الكلمة المحيط, anything that's going around, that's made to fit your body, that's made to fit your legs and arms and body, rest of the body. So any kind of shoes, any kind, as long as the two ankles are uncovered, you are good. We talked about the medication in the beginning. I'm repeating again. Take all the medications with you that you usually go by, and it's so important to keep it handy all the time. So in the aeroplane, it should be where? In the check-in bags, right? No, in the carry-on. Carry-on, because you might need them. Everything that you might need, even you don't know. Sometimes it happened to you that you might need to take the allergy medicine or something. Keep it with you in there and handy. When we are moving Mecca, Mina, Medina, this and that, keep them always with you in the case you're taking. Always arrange for this kind of case, the backpack that you take it, because you will need this. You will need to have one strong kind, maybe military thing, the backpacks, because we need to take it with you in Muzdalifah and then Mina, moving with it, and a lot of bags and a lot of pockets and a lot of places to put different stuff, inshallah, in it.
Searchlight?
I don't think you need it. If you have the phone, it will work with you. You need to go as light as possible. You don't need it. It's not going to be like really dark or anything like you expect.
That's why I was asking a question, like in Muzdalifah and all those Mina, do they have like?
They have lights. No, they have lights. It's not like not nice and fancy like this. Yes, yeah. You will see. You will see. You're not. It's not like a mountain in the sense of in the middle of nowhere. There is light, and you will find your way, and you see the signs and everything. Yes, go ahead.
So for the slippers, like we should keep spares, or we can get.
You can get spares from there. Don't take too many stuff. Just one pair from here, and then when you go there, you can take. You can, if you need to, you can get one more. You will keep them with you all the time. Yeah, for the slippers and stuff, it's not like here you put them at the door and leave them, especially in Mecca. In Medina, maybe it's different. But in Mecca, they have to be with you. That's why it's there that you have to have bags, either plastic bags or this Nike thing. Rabbit? Yes, and put it behind you or with you or under you or in front of you all the time. Yes, exactly.
State of Ihram, you are still carrying your backpack?
You're still carrying your bag, small bag, not a problem.
During tawaf?
Not during tawaf, all you need to do is just your shoes. So your shoes, you put it in this small bag. What do you call it? Does it have a special name? The bag that you, like the Nike small kind of thing that you put it in the bag. Just enough for maybe the shoes and one water bottle or something. That's what you need for. Yes, do it. You have it during tawaf and everything. If somebody really needs to use the mask, yes, it's fine, even though you don't have to cover. But if somebody is allergic or he thinks he needs to, that's an exception. You can also use it, inshallah. If you want to do it for preventive, to prevent, anything, fine, it's fine. Inshallah, you can use it, inshallah.
So if you wear a mask, doesn't it mean that you are
You don't do fidya because you're doing it for ittirar, and you have to, because you can catch something in there. The best thing is not to do it, but if you decide to do it, a lot of scholars say it's okay because people need to. Excuse me. Last question, inshallah. Yes, you can wipe your face. The only thing is not to cover it. But with your hands, if you're making dua or wiping it or taking a shower, that's not a problem. Only thing is to cover, intentionally cover it. You may even when you get sleep or something, turn around or get the blanket in your face, not a problem. All of these things that I'm talking about, if you do it intentionally. You can even have the sun glasses, fine, even though they are big and covering most of the face, it's fine, but they are not meant mainly to cover the face, but to protect the eyes. Wallahu a'lam. Okay, inshallah, by this we come to the end, and I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the best out of those sessions, and I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I pray Him to make our Hajj easy and accepted from us. Jazakumullah khairan. And we continue after Maghrib, inshallah. There is another session after Maghrib, inshallah. Barakallah fiqh.
What were you going to talk after Maghrib?
Excuse me?
After Maghrib session, what we are going to talk?
He has there is a program going on.
Sure.